You clicked the button. The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave and Auken. Welcome to the Fight Banana Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Gillian, the savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
What's
you
up,
know
guys?
What time it is, baby?
What's up? How do you sleep drinking Celsiuses at 1 p.m.?
You know, I definitely have a problem because I'm going to be tired probably in like 3 hours. Like, I have no problem just going right to sleep.
And then smash another Celsius right after that.
I only allow one in a day. But yes, that's facts.
It's so funny you said that, Elle. I took an Adderall in Las Vegas around like 4 o'clock. I was like, I need to get through this night. Yeah, I couldn't go to bed till like 2 or 3 a.m. So
I cannot picture Dave on Adderall. That sounds stressful.
How much caffeine did you drink in addition to that Adderall, Dave?
Oh, you know, iced coffee in the morning. My butler brought me an iced coffee in the morning. That was great. And then after they steamed my clothes. Stupidest life ever. That was fun. That was a good time. What's up, dude? I missed you guys immensely. Missed you guys.
I know.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. I can't wait to hear all the stories.
So
it was a big weekend for fight fans, and Fight Bananas kind of had their feet on the ground for a bunch of it, which was great. Elle and I had a great episode. I gotta say, it was a great episode of the Sunday Morning Brew, breaking down Noche UFC. It was a good one. But obviously we're going to break down more.
Maddie, yeah, me and Elle talked. I want to start doing them more too. That Saturday night, Sunday, like people love that like instant reaction. And and I said it to Elle, like, think about it. If you watch the pay-per-view and if you live on the East Coast, it's 1 a.m., 1:30, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to bed. They wake up. If they don't have a family or if they don't go to church in the first thing in the morning or whatever, right? They wake up and it's like 9, 10, and then boom, you guys are in their face. It's like it's so cool. It's I love it.
We love how busy the Sunday morning show gets. It's awesome.
Yeah, the comment section was popping off. I was very happy about it. So thank you to everybody that joined in. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it again today because Dave, I'm sure you have a plenty of stories to get to. You were in Vegas for the whole week, so let's hear it. Give us the play-by-play.
Okay, so I flew on a plane.
Started the plane.
First, I woke up.
Yeah, I woke up. No, I guess the coolest thing, and so John Radford from Boxing Bananas went with me. We were there the whole time. It was my two biggest things I'm going to take is you can definitely feel the Canelo fight and UFC Noche. Like there was this merge of like both worlds and a lot of crossover. A lot of people in the Canelo fight, even in the media or people in that boxing area was intrigued about the UFC and vice versa. We went to the UFC sphere for the weigh-ins and did that kind of fan experience, was hanging out over there. And people were asking us about the Canelo stuff because they saw our content for Fight Bananas over there. So there was a ton of crossover. So it was very cool to have that, like people were intrigued on both sides. And I like that because I didn't like how you had like, I felt before we got there, like you had to pick one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, do you like blondes or do you like brunettes? It's like, which one? Bad analogy? Is that bad?
It's all right. Keep going.
All right. So like, it was cool. You can feel, we got there Tuesday for the grand arrivals for the Canelo thing, and you can feel how big it was.
That was insane. The videos of that in the hotel.
I was gonna say one more to add with that because I number 2 is totally different. But back to a little bit of the boxing and Canelo. There's so much more I can get into. I didn't realize how freaking legendary, godlike Canelo is. Canelo Alveraz, to his Mexican fans, is a living god. It was crazy. Like I'm walking around the hotel, and me and Alex Pereira, we cross paths. He's hanging out with people like in the downstairs at the lobby, and like it's a couple people, right? Like, you know what I mean? Canelo walks from like the ring to their 8 security people with cops, hundreds of people kind of follow him.
Swarming.
It's wild. It's really wild. It's kind of cool. So that being one, what's up, Ohio? And then number 2 is I can't stress this enough. If you haven't been there or whatever you've seen on TV or pictures from the weigh-ins, even from us at Fight Bananas, or of course what you guys saw on Saturday night inside the Sphere, all that stuff doesn't do its justice. It is literally like the 9th wonder of the world. It is so big and so clear and so massive, and the stuff when it moves, like when they did like the weigh-ins and then Marab and Sugar kind of moved on the Sphere, it was like crazy. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, one of the coolest things I've ever been to live. And it doesn't look big from a hotel room, or it doesn't look big when they show like the Vegas skyline. When you're there on the floor, you're an ant. It is the biggest. I'm a Disney person. I've been to Epcot 20 times. It is like 4 times the size that Epcot ball that Mickey Mouse stand on top of. It's humongous.
Did you go inside, or this was just outside?
Just outside.
Yeah.
We never got in. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in Vegas recently with Ross, and when we were landing, it was like a yellow smiley face, and it was like looking at us as we landed. But then to get like that close to it, yeah, you're right. It's like otherworldly. It's creepy.
It's
in the best way.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Shout out Ray. Boxing Bananas was in full effect this whole weekend over there for the Canelo fight. So that was my 2 biggest things. I just thought it was like a celebration of combat sports this weekend, all happening in Vegas. So much. Guys, I've been to insanely events, and especially weigh-ins of so many different types. The Canelo weigh-ins had 5,000 Mexican fans sitting outside at 1 p.m. on Vegas. Everyone's like, dude, you look great. You look tan. We were standing baking in the sun. Like it was wild. And they were absolutely going insane. They had kazooies. They had things. They were making insanely noise. It was a party. It was wild.
I mean, I think boxing fans are just super passionate, especially about their champions.
Yeah. It was a good time. But, and we'll get more stories if you guys want. I don't want to do all stories of just me at the beginning, especially Randy Costa's coming in 8 minutes. I just thought the star of the whole weekend, and I don't know if you guys talked about it or feel the same or feel different, and this is the first conversation. The star of the weekend wasn't Canelo. It wasn't Marab. It wasn't Valentina. The star of the weekend was the Sphere. Like, I don't know why people 100%. Are upset with that. Okay, so cool. You agree. Like,
oh yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not that the fights weren't good. I saw some people were like bashing on the fights. I was like, this was a great card, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great card. And if this card was not in the Sphere, it still would have been a good card. But the Sphere took it up 10 notches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I understand people's thoughts of like, okay, the co-main and main may have been a little lackluster, may not have what you've been expecting, but it's like the card as a whole was so much fun. And if you can't respect the broadcast, I saw a couple of very interesting takes. A particular person calling it a rainforest cafe. Did you guys see this?
Yeah,
I'm
Brendan Shop said it. Game Bread's Brendan Shop.
I'm like, bro, like, pump the brakes. Like, it was fucking incredible.
Cool. I can't imagine if I was getting to fight in the Sphere, getting to have a ginormous, like Titan-sized version of myself on the screen behind me.
Yes,
would have just been incredible. Like that was the coolest thing to me.
Yes,
then these just monstrous versions of them. Like that looked so sick.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I would like to commend every single fighter on that card for staying focused, because if that was me, I would have been like, I look so fucking cool. Like, like, oh my God.
Somebody was. Because at that point, they're not on camera. They're just in there getting in the cage. And the cameras are on the giant versions. I'm sure they were all like, that is freaking sick.
It was so fucking cool. And like, we'll get more into it, after we have our lovely guest at 1:15. But
yeah,
the ring girls were fantastic.
They should do that with the ring girls every time. I want themed ring girls in every UFC card. That was so cool.
Agreed.
No, you can't do it every time or it won't be special. I disagree with that. I think like once a year for a special card, like, you know, like if they did it every month, it wouldn't be as
July.
That's fair. They should do a 4th of July
Can't
card.
be Christmas every time, guys. No, so I got you said something, Maddie, and I literally have it for one of my questions. I was going to say it to you guys beforehand, but we all have been super busy and it's on me. I take the blame. So I'm going to ask you guys right off the rip. I want to use it as a thread throughout the whole show. We can ask Gillian, Savage Robertson, 2:00, Chris Duncan around 2:30, UFC. He's fighting on the Paris card. Randy Costa's coming on. If you had to add any fight or fighter and eject them into the sphere, like, man, imagine if they came out. Imagine if this walkout was at the sphere, or imagine this fight with this, you know, hatred or pressure or anxiety, whatever. What fight or fighter would you be like, that person should have been on this card?
It's Keelan's point right here. We'll get to this later, I'm sure. Obviously, Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor are not fighting, and Conor McGregor may never fight again.
Never.
But if
it's not
he
happening.
Did,
I'm over that. I'm over it.
But if he did, Dave, if he did,
it would have been
that
wild.
would be incredible. An Irish, like an Irish Pride Sphere event.
Yeah,
it would. Like, you remember when he did the walkout? I forget the singer's name.
Yes.
Sinead O'Connor.
Thank you.
Like, if they did something like that again, where it's almost like a concert, but in the sphere,
it'd be epic.
Just Irish stuff all over the place, potatoes flying. I'm just kidding.
Stop it. No, that would have been great. But Elle, you had a good fighter that you added on Sunday that wasn't on the card.
Oh, dude, Brandon Moreno.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they wanted him on that card, but I think he was taking some much needed time off, which I commend him for because he was incredibly active as a champ and after. But yeah. That would have made the card that much better. But who's your person, Maddie?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I was pretty satisfied with that card, you know? Like, it was pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at the rankings real quick.
To me, like, and this is going to sound so bad with Brandon. Brandon would have just been another fighter on the card. Like, I'm thinking more... to me, it's like an Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier iconic matchup. Like, I'm thinking more like you ready for this one? I think even Jones and Stipe would have been awesome on this Sphere card. It's like, it's iconic. It's two, you can argue the heavyweight GOAT and maybe the MMA GOAT. You kind of add them both together. I think more of that. I think they needed, and Sugar Marab to me is a high level main event, is a great main event. I think they needed like a historic kind of fighter. What's up, Matt?
I thought of one. I think Max Holloway would have been really fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
He would have been like, he's meant for big moments like that. You know, he's just that kind of fighter. That would have been awesome.
And something they could do with the Sphere too, where it doesn't have to be on Mexican Independence Day. Like, let's say they just do a really big event. They could have themed walkouts for fighters like Max Holloway.
It's so fucking cool.
Instead of just the like custom fight kits, now they get a whole freaking movie scene behind them. That would
imagine the Hawaii background, the waves shaking in for Blessed Holloway. Like, come on. Talking about a fighter that deserves an insane walkout. We hope to see it live November 15th. Maddie and Elle might be training for a fight. But I know Maddie and I will be there in Biloxi, Mississippi, fighting for the inaugural Game Bred Bare Knuckle Bantamweight Championship of this world, the one and only Randy Costa.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
What's up, my friends?
How you guys doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to be seen.
What a legend.
Where are you at? Where are you joining us?
I'm in Rehoboth. I'm in Mass.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, dude. What's going on with you guys?
We're just excited to see Game Bred announce a date and get excited for the next card and having stud like you on the card. What a matchup, man.
What a card, dude.
I know.
They
far,
put out like
every
only
announcement.
2 or 3 of them out. They got 4 more, Randy.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm hearing like some words about who else is going. Dude, this is crazy, man. Yeah. This is gonna be sick.
Yeah. I mean, how does it feel to be a part of this one? I mean, so far.
Wait, Maddie, not a part of it. The headliner.
I know. It's like you're seeing some of these names pop up, but it's like main event is Randy Costa, my friend. Like, how does that feel?
Dude, it's super cool. I mean, last one, I was kind of gifted an opportunity to go in as a co-main spot, and I was like, holy shit, this is super cool. And now this is like super fucking cool, right? Now it's like the main event spot. I'm pumped, and I feel like it makes sense. I mean, like, they're familiar, well, they, meaning like Mississippi, Biloxi, they're familiar with like who I am. They're familiar with who Brandon is. Obviously, we have a history, and like, I don't know, man. I mean, zero disrespect at all whatsoever. But the last time, I feel like we set the bar so high going into the main event, and then the main event was like a buzzkill almost in that Biloxi card. And I feel like having me as the head, I mean, I'm not going to be in a fucking boring fight, dude. I'm not going to go through that cuddle and stuff. I'm going there to like fight, right? So I feel like we're in a pretty good position. And I think, I don't know, dude. And you would assume that Chase Sherman, Greg Hardy is probably going to be the co-main. And someone's going to for sure get fucking slept in that fight too. It's nuts, dude. I can't wait.
I think there might be something bigger in the co-main, Randy. Bigger.
Stop, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I've heard something too, but I heard it was still been moving.
I
feel like we need Dean to just start popping on to the Fight Bananas show to drop the news.
I literally almost messaged him to see if he wanted to come on today. We were so stacked and we got such a big and busy show. I didn't want to mess with it.
No, we got plenty to
Randy,
talk
I want
about,
you to hit on something we were just talking about with the Noche show. First and foremost, did you watch UFC this past Saturday night?
I watched the main event. I watched a few of the fights. I was cornering on Saturday night, so I was only really able to watch the actual main event. But dude, that fight was, I mean, the whole production was fucking insane, right? That was like nuts.
Insane. So Randy, if you could have added one fighter or one fight onto that card to be like, oh my goodness, this person, man or female, deserves to kind of have that kind of spotlight, who would you add? Like Elle threw out Connor, Maddie threw out Max Holloway. I threw out Jones and Stipe, like a historic fight. Who you adding?
There will be nothing like some New Orleans jazz playing, man. We have to have Dustin Poirier.
Yes. Yes. Could you imagine that walkout with like all the
he deserves something like, and he's not like a polarizing figure. Like everybody kind of loves him. I feel like they didn't drop the ball, but they dropped the ball with like not having him perform on a spectacle card like that. I feel like he deserves it.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
That would be.
And also too, I think it's all known. His next one, I think, guys, is his last one. Like I think it's kind of out there. Imagine if they added Dustin and Gaethje to that card.
Fuck, that'd be wild.
Even cooler, Dustin and Diaz, man. That's the fight.
Yeah.
Because isn't Diaz of Mexican descent or Spanish descent?
I think he's half.
That's fair.
I think he's half. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't have any desire to watch Diaz get spanked that fast.
Yeah, dude. But
I would rather watch him and Gaethje fight again. I want.
It would be a cool MMA boxing match.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, what's more Mexican than that?
That's so fair.
Like the fighting style. What's more Mexican than that?
Yeah. I love it. Well, so you're back in Mass. I mean, this is like the last time you met Davis was like what, 5 years ago, right? It's been
the last time I fought him.
2019.
Wow. Yeah. So it's been a hot second. How much do you think you've evolved in those 5 years?
Oh, dude. I mean, I don't even think it's like of topic of conversation. I feel like I've evolved since the last fight, but everybody's going to give that same generic answer. But like, I don't know, man. I was 24 or something when we first fought. And dude, like I had only had 4 fights the first time I fought him. Wow. You know, like that's cut. And the first time I had ever been punched in the face in a fight was against, like, there was a lot of, I was very inexperienced, and it was still like a fucking sick fight. And I had just fought like, you know, some idiot on the local scene, and he had just fought like Zabit Magomedsharipov. Like that's kind of, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like there's like, it was just massive gains. But I've matured both professionally and personally, and as a man, I feel like I have like a strength of a man instead of like a boy now. Like I don't know, you know, like there's just things like that. But I don't even think that, you know, that was.
I don't think you had a beard back then.
I had no tattoos, dude.
There was zero facial hair.
Randy looked like me.
I was just a pretty boy. Yeah, dude. I was just a pretty boy. It's gonna be sick though. I mean, that fight was nuts too. Like,
It was.
I mean, not the whole fight wasn't nuts, but and when I say the whole fight, I mean like a round and a half.
Yeah.
It was sick, dude. Like that first round was like nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, Davis, we're kind of on the same wavelength. Like we're not really like looking to have like the boring style. Like, you know, so this is it's gonna be a fun fight.
My question for you, with you getting in after four professional fights and you were in the UFC, if you could go back, would you have done it the same way? Would you have waited longer? Do you feel like it was too soon?
I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I wouldn't change a single thing about this journey that I've been on. I mean, obviously I wasn't like too early because I won fights, right? I had competitive fights. I won 2 fights at bonus. I have knockouts. Like it's definitely not like too early, but I was for sure like underdeveloped. But to say that I would go back there and do things different, that would just be a blatant lie. Like everything happened the way that it's supposed to happen. And some fucking alternate universe, I'm now fighting for a bare knuckle MMA belt. Like, what the fuck is this, dude?
It's so awesome, man. It's so crazy, the evolution of a fighter when they just keep at it, right? And you're just one of those guys that was like, this is who I am. I'm a fighter. And I feel like you have found a home with the bare knuckle. Would you agree?
I would agree entirely. I mean, like, we've spoken about this stuff before, and I feel like with the bare knuckle stuff, they don't really have, or the bare knuckle MMA stuff, like Game Bread in particular, they don't have like a face. Like they don't have like a young guy that's like, I want to be like Mike Perry is to BKFC. I want to be that position. Like I feel like I have potential to be that position. I feel like even with the guys that are on the roster, like nobody's really just fucking sending it. Like I'm gonna send it, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know. I feel it's an open market, dude. It's an open market. It's a brand new thing. Obviously, they have some finances behind it. They have a plan behind it. There's a great platform. And like with the last one, it was the same situation. I just said like, fuck it. We're gonna roll the dice and see what we can do with this. And like, this definitely not where I was thinking it was gonna go. It's just super fucking cool. And I'm trying to have that same approach. And it's just like, all right, like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm just gonna bare knuckle fight, I guess. Like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
I got like a couple for you, Randy, but my first, I guess, real question is, you and Corey, you don't have to tell everyone your team, or Brandon, Michael Davis, your team, but are you guys watching his whole journey kind of like you? Are you guys watching, of course, the fight you guys had against each other, little details? Or he's had, I think, 2 Game Bread bare knuckle MMA fights. I've seen, at least for me, most fighters fight differently when you fight Game Bread bare knuckle. It's a different sport, and it is. Are you guys really paying more attention to those 2 fights and then trying to get some details, little stuff? Or
no, I just don't give a fuck. Like I'm just gonna go in there and fight. Like I have an idea of what he's gonna do, right? I mean, yeah. But it's like bare knuckle MMA. Like this shit's so volatile. Like anything can happen with any punch. Like a jab is like a very significant strike in bare knuckle MMA. Yeah. So like going over the top and studying and doing this, that, the other thing, it's crazy. I mean, let's be real. I don't have to worry about Brandon shooting a double leg takedown on me. I have a kickboxing match with no gloves on in Biloxi, Mississippi on November 15th. Like I don't really. It's a fight, dude. It's whatever. I'm not gonna make it bigger than what it is. I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna fucking fight.
Yeah, that's the best part. I mean, you're such a fan favorite because of that. But I will say one of my favorite parts about you fighting is mom and dad. Mom and dad are the best. They are your biggest fans, I'm pretty sure. Will they be in the crowd in Biloxi?
Oh, dude, like that's not even there's not a chance they would ever miss a fight, let alone like a fucking circus like this is. There's no way. It's so
wild that mom is cool with it, man.
What's the alternative, Maddie? What's the alternative?
Okay, that's fair.
Has she always been cool with it, or did it take like I know my mom took some time to get used to the fact that
dude. So it was kind of funny. Like my first amateur fight, it was like the Wednesday. I was fighting on Saturday. It was like the Wednesday. And I wrestled in high school, and she was like, "Oh, don't you have that wrestling match this weekend?" I was like, "Eek, I don't." yeah, about that wrestling match. Yeah, but it's cool. She likes it. They watch all the fights. They go, all the UFC fights. They go to all the Cage Titans fights. Like, they love the whole thing now. Like, they're friendly with all the fighters, and it's super cool, man. I'm very lucky.
That's awesome.
You and Jason had that's the best word I would say is a good mutual respect with each other beforehand. And I know you and Brandon, fought in the past, but it seems Brandon's on that same wavelength, at least same with Jason. There you go. All right. I would assume you guys are going to be like, you know what I mean? Hey, we're dapping. We are super cool. Nothing but yeah, it's going to be war inside that cage. We both know that, but I would assume it's very, friendly's not the right word. Friendly's not the right word, but it's very mutual respect for you guys.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like we're fighting because we like to fight. We're not fighting because we dislike each other. Like we just kind of have the same mind. Dude, he's a dude's dude, right? He's a dude. Like you can fuck with it. He's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole lead up, I can't speak about him, but you're not gonna hear me say a single negative comment about him or any of those guys over there, and I don't think you'll hear him say that either. Yeah, dude, it doesn't fucking matter, dude. We've fought before. We've remained in contact since we fought. Obviously, I just fought Jason. He cornered Jason. Like we should. Like we're just two dudes fighting in Biloxi on November 15th, dude. That's it.
How can you, if you're a combat sports fan, how can you not watch that fight? How can you not watch Costa versus Michael Davis in the main event for the first ever championship? There's only one champion in the whole organization. That's Junior Dos Santos, a living legend. That guy is a living legend. Whoever wins out of you two guys becomes the second champion, the first ever bantamweight. Like, that's insane. That's insane.
It's super cool. And man, it's the night before one of the bigger UFC cards of the year. There's not going to be a competitor on TV, like, with X amount of UFC vets on this card. Where's all the eyes going to be on Friday before Madison Square Garden? Like, this is a cool platform to be on, man. And I like the position that I am, headlining the show. Like, it's pretty cool.
And it's so cool to watch the popularity grow as well. People are really starting to follow bare knuckle more and realize like, oh, this is dope. And I'm seeing more states legalize it. I believe I just saw Philly legal or Pennsylvania legalize it. So if you were able to fight anywhere, where would you be fighting your next main event?
Saudi Arabia.
What? Out of all the places?
I want to go there, but in this thing, I would love to fight at the fucking. I would love to fight at. I don't know the name of the arena, but in Denver, like where UFC 1 was at. Okay. Like that would be super fucking. That would be super fucking cool. Definitely keep me out of Utah. I don't like the elevation.
Yeah. Well, Colorado's up there too.
Something like and probably like a more conservative state because fuck taxes.
Florida, Orlando, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, the Mouse House.
There you go. Oh my God, that'd be wild.
That'd be way cool.
Imagine?
That'd be way cool.
That'd be crazy if they did it in December. That would be nuts.
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
imagine.
I hate you guys. What do you know?
You too.
What do you know?
Usually I know too.
This is bullshit.
All right, I got one for Randy. If you guys got more, definitely chime in. Everyone loves Mount Rushmores. We've been doing a lot of Mount Rushmore stuff, and people eat it up. They love it. So, Randy, my question for you is hypothetical. It's a bare knuckle MMA Mount Rushmore. What fighter transitions into that? You can even put yourself in there if you want, or you can literally just put anyone in the game bred bare knuckle crew. Or like I said, you could do hypothetical. You can go Dustin Poirier. You can go Nate Diaz, whoever you want. If you had to do a Mount Rushmore of game bred bare knuckle MMA fighters, who would be on those mountains?
I think Poirier. I think his style. I think that would translate very well to bare knuckle MMA. I think McGregor's style too, being so kick heavy, would be super tough to deal with in bare knuckle with the side kicks, and that'd be really annoying to deal with. I don't think like Gaethje would be super successful in it, only because all his shots are like loopy shots, and like that's how you're gonna snap your hand in bare knuckle. Whereas like Poirier's, everything's kind of more down the middle. I think Max would be super successful with bare knuckle stuff because he's not sitting on punches. That's just like kind of jabbing your face off.
That's three. One more.
Myself.
There we go. There it is.
I got the artwork guy already working on a Randy Costa Mount Rushmore.
There it is, dude. There it is.
I love it. Well, I have one more for you, Randy. It's certainly gaining steam. A lot of people are kind of gravitating towards bare knuckle, but for those who are just finding it, what is one maybe controversial take on Game Bread or controversial take on bare knuckle MMA in general that people may be surprised by, or just something fun about bare knuckle that people may not expect?
In a fighter's perspective, like your hands don't get as fucked up as you think they would. That
That's
would
a
be
good
like
one.
the biggest thing. Like it doesn't suck that to receive it fucking sucks. But to like land a punch, it's not that bad. Like
That's
for
fascinating.
me, I was way concerned with that. Like I think I said it on here before that like
Yeah.
I made peace with the fact that I was for sure gonna break my hand. And I felt like I won the lottery ticket by not breaking my hand. But you know, looking everything up and you're seeing breaking your hand is more uncommon than not breaking your hand. Like you're not really
Let's
breaking
see
your
him.
hand.
You got like, do you have
Yeah,
some
let's
big
see
ass hands? Because I got little fragile ones, so I feel
Oh,
like
dude, I got little soft hands, dude.
That's fascinating,
it's
though.
like it doesn't suck that bad. And like maybe it's the wrap that I had, maybe it was the straight punches. I don't know what it was, and I'm not going to question it, nor am I going to flirt with it. But there wasn't like it wasn't that big of a concern. But BK, if the bare knuckle boxing, obviously that's a different story because you're limited to 2 weapons and you only can throw those 2 weapons.
Correct. That makes
the
sense.
MMA stuff, that was like, yeah, it really wasn't. It wasn't terrible. Now, granted, I didn't get cracked like a ton or at all, so maybe my opinion would be different. But like as far as the hands, like it's not really. It's like shitty, but not like super shitty.
That's fascinating because I would think like one punch and you're done, but that's awesome.
No, not that bad.
That
They swell
Biloxi
up
card,
like
I
a
believe,
tick.
only
They swell up like a tick after the fight, but
Yeah.
like it's not a huge deal in the actual fight.
and that was one of the best cards ever. That Game Bread Biloxi card, the first one. I think only one person broke their hand. Only one
Wow.
out of
Wild.
I'm fucking in the back. That was the first fight. That kid took it on short notice. I feel terrible for him. So I'm fucking in the back and like it's my first bare knuckle. I never hit it. Blah blah blah. I've never done bare knuckle. And I'm like, I'm not sure what to think about this. I'm warming up, this, that, the other thing. Fucking first kid comes back, dude. He's got this knuckle at his wrist. I'm like, yo, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Fuck this.
That's like
I
the
can't
worst
even go
thing to
home, dude.
see.
I was like, I'm too committed now. I was like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry to hear, bro. That sucks. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see it.
That's the worst possible thing to see.
So
my
I
God.
hear Lozon telling people at the gym like about going to the fight because Peter Barrett's on the card as well versus another guy, Boston guy, Charles Rosa. And I trained with Pete and I've trained with Charles in the past, but whatever. I hear Lozon explaining to people, he's like, dude, you have to go watch the bare knuckle. Like guys come back from these fights with like their face hanging off and like PTSD. And like, I'm like, yo, when you put it like that, dude, help me out.
That's so funny. Who's gonna be in your corner this time around?
Lozon, Greg Rebello, and then Coach Vic.
Very
I'm
cool.
excited, man. I can't
Good
wait.
crew.
Everybody's excited. There's a lot of buzz. You know, 3 confirmed Boston-based fighters on there right now. Like that's kind of cool. That's
Hell
kind of
yeah.
cool. Who knows? Who knows? It could pick up here. I mean, didn't bare knuckle boxing stuff kind of like originate in the Northeast area? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised with our history
John L.
and our
Sullivan,
culture.
that's like the OG.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say
That's like this, yeah. Like that's pretty cool, and it seems to be like there seems to be more interest, and I feel like in this area, and it's pretty cool to be in this position. Like I feel like people got inspired after seeing me do it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's not that bad. Maybe I should try it too." And like that's super cool because, I mean, there's not really like hotbeds for like bare knuckle, and it'd be really cool if this could become like a hotbed for like where the Game Bread fighters are from. Like that'd be super fucking cool. Like we're going to Biloxi with right now 3 confirmed Boston-based fighters, and I'm hearing maybe another one. Like it's kind of we'll have some people in the crowd. Like that's pretty cool.
I love that. I love Peter Barrett's style too. Like it's perfect for this.
It's ugly, dude. It's ugly. It's like way bare knuckle. He's just gonna fight you.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's just gonna straight up fight you. Like that's sick. If there's like a poster boy for like a that's Peter Barrett, dude. His whole shit, the way that he looks, the way that he talks, the clothes he wears, like he is like he is
1000%. 1000%.
But
Maddie
Rosa's not in boring fights either.
Yeah,
like,
he's
win
not.
or lose. That's another guy.
His motor is nonstop.
No, dude, and he has like really weird, annoying jiu-jitsu, which I think will translate well to Dude, he's like a fucking ferret. Like, he just rolls with shit. Like, I mean, but it's like, it's super effective. It's super effective.
Well, and something I've kind of noticed, and I feel like a lot of the bare knuckle fighters have said the same thing. It's easier to sub people when you don't have gloves on.
Dude, we're doing no gi MMA. Like, that's what it is.
It's just like, this just doesn't seem fair.
It's not fair. And dude, like other like stupid things like clinching against the cage, like you can grind your back to like disrupt the grip. Like there's so many like annoying little tricks, like the thumbs in the like rabbit punches. Like it's cool. I feel like it like makes everything more fighting, more real, more like a real fight.
What's like so you're basically, you guys are creating the fight IQ of bare knuckle MMA because it's such a new sport. So what's like something that you've noticed that you haven't seen anybody else do?
I feel like with myself, I feel like not other people are doing it. Like nobody's fucking pulling. They're either engaging or disengaging. Nobody's fucking with range or rhythm. And I feel like the game with bare knuckle is about not getting hit. Like you can say that about MMA and this, but there's more like the margin of error is much bigger when you have gloves on. And I feel like if you can establish like a nasty like pull game and constantly like manipulating range and using your feet as like magnets, I feel like you can take the game over like pretty easy. Like if you could just jab, pull, jab, like be super fucking annoying. That's what I think. But I mean, I don't see other fighters doing it. I don't see other fighters like
it's just a car crash.
I mean, that's cool. That's what people want to see. But people also want to see people get fucked up. And I feel like the pulling game is only going to allow
that's when the knockouts come.
That's where the knockouts come.
100%.
I love it. I was going to say this twice early, Maddie, when Randy was talking about like how good the event's going to be and all this stuff. You and I are going to get paid for going to this event and talking on it.
It's the best.
Best job in the world.
We're living our dreams, man. It's fucking awesome.
And I said this probably 3 times, and Fight Bananas is always evolving and always growing. So like, I just want to throw this out there again, guys. I never met Randy before the show in Biloxi, and I know Maddie did. Maddie already had a relationship with Randy, and like saw him at the hotel. This man to my left, it was the coolest guy fight week. I just had the best mojo, coolest guy ever. He was great communicator, fight night, weigh-ins. Awesome stuff. I can't wait to do it again. And Randy, like I say this to Maddie and Elle all the time. I don't want to bother you guys when you're in that kind of 24, 36, 48 hours pre, but anything you want to do that fight week or a couple hours before, any kind of content, outside, inside, anything, we can go to the cage early and do something. I would love to do it, man. I can't wait. I'm so damn excited for this fight.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the love. And like, I'm super low key during fight week, dude. I don't really like, I'm not like some fighters get like super tense and like, you know, on edge. I'm kind of like this. Like I don't really give a fuck. Like I'm cool with whatever, man. I'm definitely down to spam a bunch of content and yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick, man. I'm pumped for this whole build up, dude. We have you know, I have 8 weeks to play with instead of like the 6 and not sure what's going on type of thing. Like I'm familiar with the whole thing. I know how the system runs. Yeah, dude, I feel like this is gonna be fucking super cool, man. I'm fired
up. I got some fun ideas for the Boston boys too. I think I'm gonna make you guys do some games. So
yes, dude, all the games.
I want to build like a mini Fenway Park outside in the front of the hotel and let them swing wiffle balls, let them hit home runs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I'm talking to Dean already, man. I got ideas
dude, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be super fun and like I said, we have noticed this time. It's more than just myself going down there. Like, you know, I'm putting a ticket order. I have, 20, 25 people. If all 4 fighters have 20, 25 people go, like, we have some people from the Boston area coming. Like that's, and I explained bare enough, like the whole show to other people too. And like when you go to like MMA shows, like gloved MMA shows, you can kind of hear like more booing and things like that. But I feel like with bare knuckle, there's a very healthy level of respect for what's going on. Like,
I agree.
It's almost like eerie. Like it flirts with the line of like, oh, might be too much, or like this is just enough. But I feel like there's everybody's cheering everybody. Like they're just excited about the fight and thankful that two psychos are down to do something like
Right.
that.
It's a spectacle.
Gladiators, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
I've been watching Spartacus, and it's like
It's super
not too
fucking,
far off.
dude. It's way fucked up. It's super cool though. Like, but I remember like being in like getting cheered by like the Mississippi people on my way, but that was for everybody. It was just cool that they respect like the severity, I guess, of what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is the last thing on like the whole tickets or the arena stuff. And Randy, I don't know if you kind of noticed or felt it. The floor was completely sold out. All these tables, it was massive. And the upper section almost sold out, I believe, last time. I think this time it is because it's the second time in the city. That first night was so insane. They got Brandon Michael Davis fighting for a championship against Randy Costa coming back. Like I said, other big names are coming onto this card. I feel like it's going to be a complete sellout. It's going to be nuts.
Dude, so they sent me some ticket options to put them in a little early, and they were bombed out of 2 of the tiers already. Wow. This motherfucker Brandon can sell air conditioners to an Eskimo, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's so cool. Like, that's fucking sick. That's super sick.
Yeah, this is great. This is gonna be so
I
much
love
fun.
that you're just as stoked that he's gonna have people there.
Dude, that's sick, dude. Like, come watch the party, dude.
Yeah, exactly. The more butts and seats, the better. It doesn't matter.
Guys being dudes. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
This is gonna be insane.
I have to ask you about your nickname as well.
Yeah.
So I love that movie. Was this like, did you decide that you were the Zohan, or was this given to you?
I didn't even know it was good. So my first pro fight, the announcer for Cage Titans, Andy Kurzankowski, like surprised me with the nickname. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? And I'm like, dude, it actually makes perfect sense because like the kicks that the Zohan throws, like they come from like stupid angles, and he's like a hair guy, and like I kind of care about my hair, and like he's a ridiculous character, and I think I'm kind of a ridiculous person. Like everything it just made sense. Yeah, dude, it's perfect.
You
and like nobody else has it. And I'm like the furthest thing from like, I'm pretty sure that name is like Israeli, and I'm fucking not at all.
That's fantastic. Shout out to Andy. That's great.
Shout out Andy.
I love it.
Guys, November 15th, Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA takes over Biloxi, Mississippi. Get tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Randy's got tickets on the slide. Connect with Randy. Slide into those DMs. Get those, the tickets in maybe the Boston area, the crew if you want to. Guys, the inaugural Bantamweight Championship of the World. Randy Costa, Brandon Michael Davis, November 15th. I can't wait, bro. We'll talk a lot more beforehand. Can't wait to see you in person in Biloxi, Mississippi. Any last words, my man, for now?
That's it, man. I appreciate the love, guys. We're 8 weeks out. It's going to be a sick night, and I'm sure I'll talk to all you guys before then.
Sounds good.
Brother. Cheers, Randy. Be good.
Have an awesome
Randy
week,
Costa.
guys. Catch you later.
See
Thanks,
ya.
Randy.
What a legend, bro.
I know. He's such a pleasure. Always.
What a fun guy.
And I know Brandon, and I don't want to like this is gonna come off real. It's just like, dude, Randy's he's just a good dude, man. I like him. I like him a lot. And, and it's crazy because we have to like talk. I gotta do like the press conferences and stuff. I gotta be so impartial.
Yeah.
But,
he's one of those fighters where it's really cool. It's very obvious when the switch flips. It's so cool.
Okay.
Like, I love when you can see a fighter just like some fighters, like he said, like all week, they're so serious and they're like in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like other fighters, it's like the day of, or maybe the bus ride over. I've seen him like make the switch and it's like, I'm out of here. Like, it's so fucking cool.
Like in the cage. It's like, oh, okay. Now, now.
It's it's like that scene in like a movie where everything slows down and he's just like, ooh, it's fucking crazy. I love it. I can't wait. This is gonna be such a good show. I have so many ideas leading up to it too, Dave. Can't wait.
We say stuff like you don't I want to do so many things. Like
Love
I want to do.
He trains 30 minutes away from me. Like I'm gonna go and make him do videos with me.
Yeah. And also like there in Mississippi, I want to do like so many cool and fun and different stuff. I'm not even joking. Like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, remember outside, like the hotel is like on the water. Imagine if we put like literally paint green fence. So it looks like Fenway Park, and they got to hit wiffle balls over the home run in the water. I think it would be the funniest shit ever.
There's a lot of things we could do for sure. Yeah. For sure.
I can't wait. All right, but that's November 15th. We got a ton of time. Like I said, I hope we talked to Brandon Michael Davis before that. Chase Sherman. some other names that were going to be on that card that will be announced very, very soon.
I hate being left out.
Dude.
Should I text Dean?
Yeah, I was going to say text Dean. Text, be like, hey.
Hey,
You got Charles Rosen
Dean.
with Slippery Barnett on the card.
Ooh,
Dude,
yeah,
that is a sick fight. How good is that fight?
Which one?
The Rosa versus
Have you ever seen Peter Barrett fight?
Not live, but on TV. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't the best showing of Peter Barrett, but
Why do you think that?
He got flash knockdown. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I mean, like, do you think just in general, why do you think we haven't seen the best of him?
Oh, that's a question for him for sure. Okay. I'm not sure. But when I've seen him, not perform his best, and then I've seen him have fights of the night, like on the local scene. So he has the potential to be a star in bare knuckle. I really think that. But you don't know until you do it. I don't know. I
think bare knuckle is becoming that thing. Like there are people that, were amazing kickboxers that didn't translate well to MMA, and there were people who were amazing MMA fighters that didn't translate well to boxing.
Right.
And I think bare knuckle is becoming enough of its own thing.
Right.
But there might be guys that, didn't do as well in gloved MMA or even in BKFC, but bare knuckle MMA is like their thing.
Right.
And we're going to have that generation of fighters, which is so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. So before G pops on, I'm sure we'll talk more about Noche and everything, but shall we touch upon Michael Chandler?
Yes.
And his new matchup.
I said it Sunday, and I'll say it again. I freaking told you so.
For a hot second, you were like, okay, I think it may be happening, but then you weren't.
Yes. And that's because I literally talked to
You had some
inside know what's happening. That should know what's happening. And I was like, oh man.
I am fully convinced that Conor McGregor is dealing with some legal issues. I don't think it's just health related or physical related. I think this man is dealing with some legal issues. I don't know quite what it is.
Just have a hunch.
I just have a hunch this isn't just about I'm not fit enough or I'm not ready. Like I think there's another layer to this, for sure.
You ready for this one?
Go ahead, Dave.
I feel like I felt like I went on both sides a lot and probably more on the opposite of Elle. To be brutally honest, I think I was like, yeah, he's going to fight again.
We were hopeful. Yeah,
I was very hopeful. I think I was very high on the other side. I am 100% the other way. This freaking man, lunatic, crazy person is never fighting again in the UFC. It's not happening. I'm telling you, this man is never passing multiple drug tests. He's never going to get his head on straight. He's never going to make weight a proper weight. It's going to be some stupid catch weight. He's not fighting. Did you guys see him at bare knuckle? The guy is off his effing rocker. It's not happening. Like, I'm so happy for Michael Chandler.
Like Chandler said, he's like, if you can
move on. And it was funny. I told both of you guys this. I ran into Michael Chandler that day in the hotel lobby. He was super cool. Again, we met him back in Nashville. Elle. He was the nicest, coolest guy. Everyone's always said this about him. I'm so happy. He's just moving on. Like, dude, that fight against Alveraz, co-main event, New York City, on the John Jones retirement card, probably. It's huge. If he wins, he literally fights for the championship. I think the UFC knows they know that he had a rough year of waiting for Conor, and they knew it. And I think they're pro Chandler. Let's just be honest. I think they're very pro Chandler. I'm so happy he's moving on. Conor is not coming back. Like we have to move on as a MMA company outlet. Fight Bananas is over Conor McGregor. We're done.
No wonder you jumped down my throat earlier. No, and like Michael Chandler said, like if Conor could just string together a few sober days, we might see the return, but I just don't see it. I'm with you. I don't think we ever see it again.
Yeah. And to be fair, I really like this matchup. And then like the storyline is there, it's like the redemption. He's looking for redemption and the styles are fun. And,
I like a hole in that weight class right now because we were all expecting to see Islam and Arman fight at the end of the year. And that's not happening anymore. So I feel like it kind of pushes that out of our minds that we're not going to get that fight because now we have quite possibly another number one contender spot.
Yeah.
It's being fought over.
Is he fighting on the Madison Square Garden one? Is that what it is?
Who?
The Chandler fight? Is that?
Yeah, that's the co-main event.
Dude,
Him
I'm
and
trying,
Oliver are
I'm
the co-main
trying to
event.
go to that. I'm trying.
And
to
you
go
ready
to
for this
that.
one? The Jones and Stipe to me is happening. I'm on this side of it. To me, it's very much happening. A lot of people are still very skeptical. Very
Oh, it's
skeptical.
happening. I think
Okay.
it's happening. They made a promo.
I mean, like, they just think that those are two older gentlemen and something could happen. Jones has been pulled out of a lot of fights during a plethora of different issues and reasons why. Just saying. Just saying. But I'm happy for Michael
I
Chandler.
wouldn't be shocked if that fight doesn't happen.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, me either. Like, I think it's happening. Stuff happens. Like,
Listen,
drugs.
my heart has been broken more than once. This one just needs to happen. All right. So it's happening. I don't want to hear it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, I'm trying to go to that one.
I love it. Next question for both of you guys. I'm sorry. I should have texted you this beforehand. I didn't. So that is November. We know, guys, we just saw the Sphere. Amazing. And if we would need to go back to that, we can if you guys want, for sure. We saw the Sphere 3 weeks from now, or 2.5 weeks now. Alex and Roundtree, Salt Lake City, Utah, 307. Then we go to 308, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway.
Look how
309, New York, John Jones versus Stipe, Chandler versus Oliveira. What's 310? And even Dana kind of like smiled about it. He thinks he's got something. It's in Las Vegas, second weekend of Las Vegas. What's going to main event UFC 310?
Let's see here. Let me look at the rankings here. What is going to main event 310?
The last card of the year. What's going to headline it?
All right, let's see. I would assume. Oh my God! Don't tell me DDP and Sean Strickland.
No, that's February.
Oh, that's already booked.
That's already booked.
Yeah, and that's gonna. Dana said that he wants South Africa really bad. I think that's going to happen in February in South Africa.
That would be sick.
So that's February.
Muhammad, baby.
That's what's going to headline it, Maddie. You're right. It's going to be Bilal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. I'm like,
you think they're going to end the year with that one?
I mean, I feel like Dana would love a gift at the end of the year of Shavkat finishing Bilal Muhammad. I could see that. We could also get maybe it's a Dustin card.
Who the fuck is this? Hey Frank, tell us how you really feel. You fuck. What the hell?
Cheers to you, Frank.
What the hell?
Thanks
Thank you for watching and putting up our algorithm. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
nothing but clickbait over here for Fight Bananas.
So funny. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's probably the
I
fight,
agree with
right?
Maddie. I agree.
Yeah.
Elle, you with that? Or you like something else?
I mean, I could also see another Dustin fight. Maybe that's Dustin Gaethje.
We did say he does look busy these days.
And he wants, I know he wants Gaethje. He wants that one back. And Gaethje said he will take Hooker, Oliveira, Dustin.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be mwah. Poirier, Gaethje 2.
My only question is, guys, if that fight's on the card, you would think it needs to headline it. Can they headline over Bilal or Shavkat? Can they headline over Pantoja's title fight? Can they headline over a female title fight? I don't know. You're not kind of allowed to, in a way.
I guess that's fair. I guess it depends what else they need to fit in at the end of the year. Dean said yes. Let's send Dean a link. I'm gonna send. Okay. I asked Dean if he would leak a fight announcement. So last time we brought him on, he didn't say anything.
Are you sending them a link?
Sending him a link right now.
Okay, there we go. Wow. Little Dean Toole exclusive.
I think Chris may be running a little bit late anyway. So because he's coming from training.
I like it. I cannot wait for November 15th. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Also, October 25th, it's Island Fights back in Pensacola. Gonna be a sick night for that. Cannot wait. Crazy.
Love it.
All right, so December. I think me and Maddie have Bilal and Shavkat. Elle, what's your final line? What's your answer?
It's probably gonna be that. Oh,
wow, 3 for 3.
Wait. When is Wait, was that December?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, I know what it is. Like I actually know what it is.
Does one guy start with an A?
I can't tell you anything. I cannot. I know what it is.
So many secrets.
I really can't say. I'm sorry, guys.
Islam versus Arman in December? That would be
Islam's
insane.
out. Islam's out through the rest of the year.
Well, no, then, dude, Pantoja's not main eventing, Elle. Not headlining the card. You know what I mean? That's the co-main event.
It might be. It might be. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
What I'm saying, you don't have to. I know what that is the co-main. Like Pantoja will defend his flyweight championship sometime in 2024. Just throwing that out there. I think I can say that. But I don't think Pantoja can headline the last main event.
You may be right. In which case, okay, I'm with you guys on Shavkat.
Okay. There we go.
I'm with you on
three answers. And that's wild to me. Like the last pay-per-view is usually so crazy and and I'm not saying this, and Bilal, dude, I met Bilal Muhammad, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. Met him, super nice guy. Like him to main event
19.
Moreno Figueiredo 19.
That's fantastic.
Did you see Moreno on Saturday? He's looking like he could be a 35er. Maybe he'll come up and fight.
I saw him live on Thursday. Saw him live on Friday, actually. But the way
he's looking healthy.
In that area.
He's looking like he's been eating good.
Yeah.
Resting. I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Dude, he's made a lot of money for a flyweight. He's got great sponsorships. He's got a great thing going.
He genuinely is such a good person, but he's also just a great character, exciting fighter. Yeah. I agree.
Wow. I love it.
Okay. You're right. I don't know what it is. I think I agree. It's going to be Shavkat Bilal. That's my vote.
Okay. What's up, Maddie?
Just chilling.
I'm so sorry, Maddie.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll find out when I'm supposed to.
Send Dean a link.
I know,
2 minutes after he told me yes.
Maybe he didn't realize right now.
I said, we're ready when you are.
Dude, another going back to Canelo a little bit, guys. The crowd for the T-Mobile Arena absolutely sold out. Not one seat open when they hit that main event.
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
When Canelo walked out, not one seat was open. It was insane. The atmosphere was crazy. And the fight itself was actually a really good fight. Like, it was very entertaining. Both guys, everyone thought his opponent, Berlaga, was like a can. He did it. He was very stepped up, won all 12 rounds. He was throwing. It wasn't like a one-sided fight. Canelo definitely won, but Berlaga didn't get punked out at all. It was a really good, fun main event.
Before I head out, I will leave you with this about the Noche UFC.
Yep.
I'm still super bitter that I couldn't find a single fucking Easter egg. I couldn't find a single one.
I don't know where they were. Has anybody posted about them yet?
I haven't seen a single thing. I don't know if I know that it was like 4 people there, but people at home could play too. I didn't find a single goddamn one.
I haven't heard anybody be like, "Oh, I found it" either. Because I'm surprised.
Like,
over
I haven't seen socials. A TikTok. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was this fake news? I'm gonna be pissed because I was watching those videos, like trying to find them.
They were just trying to get views up.
I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. So if anybody found an Easter egg, please let me know because I'm losing hope that was even a thing.
But I didn't watch it live. I saw the main event live because the boxing thing was over. But the main card I didn't watch live. I didn't see anything. The artwork was so good.
The artwork was so good.
So if you guys had to guess right now, almost a yes or no answer, gut feeling, does the UFC do they? This is a horrible way of me asking. Do they do the Sphere again? Do they work that event again?
That's not a terrible question. We talked about this on Sunday, and I think we came up with yes if it was profitable, right, Elle?
Yeah, I think it has to be another huge card. Like, they're not going to do this every 3 months. Like, the Sphere is going to be once every few years. I could see them doing like 400 in a venue like the Sphere, a huge card, a big like champ versus champ card, something like that.
Like a
But
big
yeah, I
moment.
think it has to be something really, really big.
Yeah, it's gonna have to
Let's
take
bump this up
something big.
Yeah, we actually just posted this on Fight Bananas. I don't know if you guys saw me playing on my phone for the last 10 minutes. We just put this out there. It's everywhere right now. They're saying Sugar Sean O'Malley had a major injury going into this fight. I don't know. I really
These
dislike
always pop up
hearing and
after
reading
somebody
this.
loses. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I really dislike seeing that. It's like,
Yeah.
was he hurt? Was he not?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
He is taking a year off, though. I think that's a great idea. But I do have to run. My dog is freaking the F out. Please give Gillian my love, and I will see you guys soon.
Sounds good. Later, Miss Maddie.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
Maddie Levine is out. One phenomenal person leaves. Another one joins the show. Our savage one, Gillian.
What's up,
Savage
guys?
Robertson. What's up, G?
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I feel like it's been forever since I've talked to you, Dave. I'm like,
I
you
know.
missed a week, I missed a
Weeks.
week. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been
I
forever.
I know. It is. I said that to Elle and Maddie too. When I just miss 1 week, it feels like it's forever. It feels like I've missed so much.
Years.
Crazy.
So much happens in the MMA world in like
Dude,
a 48-hour period. Like a whole week off is nuts.
I was just
before, me and Gillian, last time we saw each other and talked to each other, Michael Chandler was fighting Conor McGregor, and now Michael Chandler's fighting Alveraz in like the fight of the year. Like stuff happens fast.
I was just thinking about it with this week. They have Contender Series tonight, tomorrow night Karate Combat, then UFC again this weekend with Noche last weekend. I'm like, it's just like bop, bop, bop.
No,
actually,
Oh, no, not this weekend?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're off this weekend. They're in Paris next weekend.
Oh, next week. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Insane card, by the way.
with
UFC Paris.
Eileen
is
Perez
stacked.
on the Paris card.
Oh, is she nice?
Yeah.
Are you going?
No, I won't be going. Yeah. I'm like, I'm
Are
too
you-
close. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm 8 weeks out. I think I'm like 7.5 weeks out now at this point. So I'm getting too close now to do anything. I don't leave my house.
Especially going
The gym.
across the ocean. Like that's
Yeah,
too
that's quite
far.
a trip.
If it was Vegas, it might be different, but I feel like going overseas would be a trek.
No, and I know you've done the flight multiple times, LG. I know you've done that flight a ton, dude. Flying to Vegas and back, it is.
It's
Guys,
kinda
I
rough.
literally went to bed last night at 7:30 and woke up at 6. Like I was so messed up with the time because the Monday morning I was up early with the kids. It is something. I'm telling you, East Coast to West Coast and back is something.
Try doing that after getting in a fist fight.
That's why when we come back from Vegas, it's literally like I don't think Grant and I leave our house for like 2 straight days.
Exactly. I'm like,
Go to
literally,
bed.
the whole flight home, my neck hurts, my back hurts. It feels like you were just in a car accident. I'm like, any of these flights are. Oh, and then the worst thing is the mat burn too.
I was
I'm like,
about to ask you about that. I was like, do you get that? Because Grant's knees are always shredded.
no, I've gotten them so bad sometimes. My worst was when I was in Abu Dhabi. So when I fought Poliano Botello then, and the whole fight was on the ground, my knees were absolutely shredded. And then the whole flight home, my pants were just like sticking to it. And I had like an 18-hour flight home and it was terrible.
Oh, that's so gross.
Ugh.
I don't know if that's worse or Irene Aldana's cut on her face.
Oh
I
my
don't know
gosh,
which is
that
worse.
was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Why do the doctors always for the videos? Why do they do the push thing to the cut and like open it? Why do they do that?
They have to make sure like that nothing's coming out and you can't see her skull.
We got into a conversation about that at the gym, and then we started going into like what are the best cuts that we've seen, and we're like, Irina Aldana, RoboCop had that one across his forehead,
Yeah.
Right.
and then Rafa Garcia. I don't know if you guys remember this one. He was fighting Mahashate, got a cut in the back of his head, and it cut an artery, and he was like bleeding out for 2 rounds straight, and it took 2 hours to stop it after the fight. I'm like, oh, just things. I don't know. You don't think about these things walking in the cage, but they're obviously possibilities.
Of course.
Such a
Talking about
random place to get
possibilities.
a cut too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's literally like right here on the back of his head, and apparently there's an artery back there.
So crazy. I told Elle I kind of had something very pro Grant Dawson and very pro Gillian the Savage Robertson. I almost said it the first hour. It's like, let me wait till G's on the camera. G loves when I talk good about her. It's like, all right, it's our relationship. After watching Marab win the championship, and I'm so and we've all, I think, talked about this point for a long time. I'm so 100% on people, fighters like Grant, fighters. Oh, I was talking really nice. Oh, G, there you are.
I was going to say, I think G might be frozen. I don't want her to
Yeah.
miss you talking her up.
I know.
Yeah, I was definitely frozen for a second.
Elle, I think she's still frozen in mine. Is she still frozen?
And now
Yeah,
Dave's just
she's still
frozen to me.
No.
Elle, G, let me kick you out and then come back on. All right. Let's see that. I'll save my good thing. I'll save it.
Let me see if Dean ever texted me back.
Dude,
He
Chris
did
Duncan
not.
coming on at 2:30, 2:45.
I think so, but I think he might be running a little late. He hasn't said anything yet, so he said he's going to try and make it by 2:30. I was surprised Marab didn't get his cut reopened. Yeah, he's got some scar tissue as well. We've been trying to get Dave a fight all year. Yes.
Guys, I'm not fighting. I make money.
What if Ben Davis and Oscar, like, what if would you take the winner of that fight? Would you fight them?
Gee,
Am I back?
awesome.
Am I good?
You're good.
Yes,
now.
you are very good.
There we go.
Dude, I don't know if I would fight Ben Davis or not.
Gee,
Like
how bad do you want to see Dave take a fight?
I have footage of Dave taking a fight.
dude, I was not ready, Gillian. Okay.
We might need to post that on the Fight Bananas or something later, you know,
my
just make
God.
sure, just
Send it to me. I'll post it.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm
record your
not
fight
even
record.
joking you. I would bet that video would get 1 million views right now on our page. It is crazy. Like I
Send it to
posted a
me.
couple things of John, dude. John was at UFC Noche. We went to UFC Noche, like the fan experience, and he had like the fake thing. What is it called? The bag,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the machine
The
bag.
punching machine.
Yeah, punch machine. That video got 50,000 views on Facebook like the first night. It was insane. Like
Wow.
it was crazy. Fight Bananas Facebook page. It's where it's at. So,
I feel like I'm too short for those things. I can never hit them right. I always suck.
punch it up.
Yeah.
We're too short. No, I 100% agree. That is a real thing. It should have like a height setting.
Exactly.
I'm not even joking. Talking about that, Elle, you're gonna love this. The Fight Bananas studio that's being built right past the store is gonna have one of those machines in it. Breaking news. Breaking news.
You need to have a kid size one for me and G.
Exactly.
Straw weights and under. And then everybody else can use the regular.
We're gonna keep stats. We're gonna have people travel here. We're gonna have our watch-alongs done in the studio over here. So we're gonna do that and keep people's stats. It's gonna be a fun thing. Anyways, that's happening in 2025. There's some breaking news for you. Back to my little spiel, real quick. All right, so I watched Marab Davalishvili win the championship Saturday UFC 306. I think I nailed that L, by the way.
I think you actually had that.
I am so jazzed. I believe more than ever that Grant Dawson and Gillian the Savage Robertson can be future world champions. Not even shitting. They are my two favorite people. Talk to them all the time, all that. I am so pro fighters that are 100% like you guys have such an amazing skill set. And when you're on that skill set, like it doesn't matter. Like you guys do stuff that it doesn't, people could train for 8 months. I got Gillian. I'm fighting Gillian. If you do your thing against Mackenzie Dern, you're going to get her neck. Like you guys are so, there's a better word. Elle, we talked about this back, off air all the time. I just love that you guys are so dominant at what you guys are doing. Like kind of what Marab and Bilal and other fighters are starting to get to. I feel more than ever, 2025, 2026, 2027, Grant Dawson, Gillian Robertson, future world champions. Just throwing that out there.
Let's go.
And I'm not arguing with that.
I'm not, dude. I love Dean Thomas's post, by the way, about you and Sean.
Yeah. He's been going up there and working with him like the last 2 camps, I think now. So they're definitely building something good up there. And obviously he's in karate combat this week, but we'll be back here for the rest of my camp.
With that being said, would you ever think about, or if Dean goes, hey, they got some, like, I really love this gym up here or the people up here. We got even a couple girls, smaller late weight classes. Would you go up there for a camp in Philly, or you just love the mojo in South Florida? I know you're a Florida girl, kind of.
I know, I'm down like a couple of years ago before I started training at Go Shed. That's what me and Dean did, essentially.
Yeah, I remember.
We just traveled around. We went to gyms. I was training in like Colorado, Vegas, Florida, wherever it was. So Yeah, I'm down for that. Whatever. Like, I feel my most comfortable when Dean's there for my camps. You know, when I can have him work with me, game plan for me, help me, like just drill with me through the week, like guide me through my camp. So I'm like, if he did go up there for a long time in a camp or whatever, if there was good bodies for me to work with and it was an ideal scenario, I'd 100%.
This is a great one. Just don't become too big for the show with that success hits. I love
Don't leave us.
Yeah,
I'll bring my belt
dude,
on the show, man.
the belt is on the show. And when it happens, we'll fly you out first class, Fort Lauderdale, Daytona Beach Airport. I'm telling you, we're building a big studio right past this door. Gillian Savage Robertson live in the studio with the belt. The belt and pizza and green plants will be here live just for you.
I think that sounds like a dream scenario, honestly.
There you go. That sounds amazing. Real quick. Oh no, that was a good one. Oh, what happened to the Cubs?
Yeah.
Dude,
What happened? I did not see this.
no, guys. Okay, we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, walking out of T-Mobile Arena on Mexican Independence Day. There was cops everywhere. I've never been to Las Vegas at a busier day or weekend. Downtown at our hotel was just, you walk and it's like, oh, there's Alex Pereira, there's Terrence Crawford, there's Michael Chandler, there's John Jones. Sugar Sean O'Malley's post-fight thing was at our hotel. Everyone was there. It was just a crazy scene. It was Las Vegas on Saturday night. What do you want me to say? It was crazy. There you go. G, how was UFC Noche? I know you've kind of been watching Valentina Shevchenko for a long time. We talked about it like that was the fight you thought you were going to have for a championship years and years ago. Now I know with the straw weight, I think she froze again.
No.
Dude, my two best things for Gillian.
Pop her back in a minute if she resets.
Okay. It's okay.
Anywho.
Yeah, you have to get punched for it to reopen.
We were talking
the
about,
eye,
some people were
Murad's
talking
eye.
about
I get it.
Murad's,
Yeah.
but and I guess he didn't take too many significant strikes in that fight. It was really dominant performance. There were definitely some closer rounds. I mean, the third round, Sean did significantly better. There were some times I feel like he landed. There we go.
I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi today, man.
No worries. I've been telling myself I'm going to get like an Ethernet cord for the longest time, and I still haven't done that. So,
Fight Bananas paying for Ethernet cords coming. We're mailing them to your guys' house. That's just tell us what Amazon link to get. We'll get that for you. I don't know where I was at with. Valentina Shevchenko winning the flyweight championship. You know, forever we thought that was the fight you were going to fight for the championship with Valentina. You're now a strawweight. What did you think of Valentina's performance and just kind of what's next for her going forward?
I honestly just wasn't impressed by that fight as overall.
Okay.
I feel like Valentina played a very safe fight. She at no point was trying to finish the fight. She was kind of just like laying and praying, holding. She was throwing some little like pity patty, like little punches. She was never really throwing damaging shots on the ground. She was never looking for submissions, just kind of holding position a lot on top. If anything, Alexa was the one working more. She was looking for submissions more and things like that. But even at that, Alexa, like Dean said it in the broadcast, he's like, I feel like she's trying to play a jiu-jitsu game without the world-class jiu-jitsu necessarily to back it up. And it's like, there's got to be a certain point in her game where she's like, okay, I shouldn't be playing jiu-jitsu anymore. I should work stand-ups. I should work trying to get back to my feet. And it's also, the takedowns were so easy for Valentina. It almost impressed me where I was just like, it shocked me of how minimal Alexa's takedown defense was there.
and something that was frustrating to me is I feel like as soon as Alexa made the decision, oh, I'm going to try to get up now instead of trying to triangle or armbar you off my back, she usually did, or at least created a scramble that allowed her to escape. Like, so it's like, I agree with what you're saying. And I feel like from my perspective, even if you have world-class jiu-jitsu, the percentage of getting a submission off your back is still incredibly low in this sport. Would you agree to that effect?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of MMA fighters also aren't like, they don't put enough focus on attention in jiu-jitsu. I feel like it is something that, like, because honestly, for me, oh my gosh, I keep on cutting out.
No, we can. I was like, we could hear her, but She's still frozen.
Our Wi-Fi sucks.
We can hear you. We just can't see
What
you.
is
It's a
going
black
on? It's
screen.
never this bad.
Oh.
There you are. You're good. Nope.
Did we get it?
You're good, G. You're good. Oh,
No,
all right.
I wanted to hear her answer so bad.
it was a good question. Good answer.
All right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
We're
I'm gonna
in
text
in
her.
the land of technical difficulties today.
I'm gonna text her and say, don't worry
Yeah,
about
don't
it.
worry about it. It's all good. Oh, she's
There
back.
she is. Oh, fast try. It's all right, G. G. It's all
Third
good.
time's a charm.
Yeah.
We're here.
I have no idea what's going on today.
You are just fine. No worries.
You were saying
Carry
about
on.
that.
You were saying
What was I saying?
emphasis on jujitsu.
Oh, okay. So, like for me, I do feel confident being on my back because I know I can do damage from there. I know it's not necessarily only jujitsu either. It's also being able to throw strikes effectively from being on your back. Whereas like I feel like a lot of people don't focus on or know how to do it necessarily. Like I said, so many nothing makes me more irritated than little pity patty strikes. I'm like, you're just wasting your time. You're not doing damage, like from bottom and top. But I'm like, I feel like jujitsu for the longest time in MMA has become like uncool. So it's like Dean always used to say, he's like, guys will be like, oh, arm bars don't work. And then I ask them to do an arm bar and they don't know how to do it. You know? So I feel like there's a lot of that in MMA too right now.
Yeah, totally concur. Like, do you think Valentina becomes? She just had such a champion, like a dominant reign for a long time, multiple years, and then the whole Grasso thing happened. Do you think she continues it, or do you think she is getting up there? She is an older champion. Do you think, even Fiorot is next? Do you think, she's looked very impressive? Do you think she's kind of maybe a one and done as a champion?
I don't necessarily think so. I feel like
Okay.
she's like it showed this weekend. She's smart to play to her strengths. You know, she knew how to make this fight an easy fight for her, and she did. She just like those takedowns came easy every single time, and she just was able to control on top the whole time. So she just made it an easy, safe fight. So I think maybe with age, even it comes a smarter. Like she's playing safer, playing smarter. You know.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Before hopefully your internet stays on. Last time you and I were on together, you did a female MMA Mount Rushmore. The video and the content, the artwork was very, very good for Fight Bananas. The post was awesome. People were interacting. People were not happy about your Ronda Rousey thing, but hey, it is what it is.
I would say everybody hated it. I was like,
sometimes that's the best. I mean, I'll say that all the time. Sometimes that's the best content. It's like, is Sugar Sean O'Malley that good anyways? Like just whatever, just some stuff. So I got another MMA Mount Rushmore for you. We just saw UFC Noche. It was all about Mexican fighters, Mexican MMA fighters, their legacy. What is your Mexican MMA Mount Rushmore? 4 fighters, Mexican descent. Who would be on your Mexico's MMA Mount Rushmore?
You know who my first one would be, right, Dave?
He plays with Legos?
No. Let you go first. Come on, Dave. You should know.
Oh, my fault. Yes, I do. The heavyweight motor. Yes.
gosh, I hate when you put me on the spot like this. I would say the first one that came to mind is, I guess he's technically American, Mexican heritage, Cain Velasquez.
Yes.
That's my guy. That's my number one.
Yeah, that's Elle's number one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, obviously, I'm like, I think you said a motor there. He's just a power horse. Like,
Dude.
he comes forward, an absolute monster.
Real quick on Cain, you know who he reminds me of a little bit? To me, he is Marab as a heavyweight with striking. Like,
Yeah, with power.
am I wrong on that?
No, I can see
not
that.
at all.
Yeah. He was unbeatable during his prime. Unbeatable. All right, Cain Velasquez.
Was he the first Mexican UFC champ?
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason I believe he was.
Because they said Brandon Moreno was the first Mexican champ ever.
So maybe
because
Mexican
Kane is
born.
half American, half Mexican.
Yeah.
So.
So then, obviously, you just said the next one, Moreno.
I agree. I think people forget about his run and how good he was, and like his wins even get into the championship. Dude, he is, and if we did a flyweight Mount Rushmore, Moreno would be on mine. He had an incredible run at flyweight.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love Moreno. His fighting style. He's able to finish the fight from every position. You know.
Yeah.
And then I guess let's go with the females. With Alexa, you have to put her up there.
Okay.
First female Mexican champ.
Awesome. Gotcha. And let me throw a name out there maybe to help, because I heard him a lot this week. And I didn't think of that, but I guess kind of he's very Cain Velasquez to me. Half Mexican with that descent. Another one, maybe a friend of yours who I think you trained together a couple times. How about Nate Diaz?
Nate Diaz, I didn't know he was of Mexican descent either. Yeah, I think you like it after you bring that up. I think you have to, like, Nate's an OG, you know.
Because like Yair, Nate.
That's the only other one I was thinking of was Yair.
You've got Brandon, Yair,
Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
You know,
that's like he's like a journeyman, you know, like he was in the UFC for so long.
Yeah. I think it's a great one. Cain Velasquez, Nate Diaz, Brandon Morano, and Alexa Grasso. That is a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good artwork right there.
There we go. Now everybody can attack me on that one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. All right, there we go. All right, that was nuts. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, I did have this one for you, G. Did you, after watching it live and seeing the atmosphere and seeing what they did with the sphere, do you kind of back on it now? You're like, damn, I do wish I could have been on this card to kind of be a part of it and to kind of be a part of the sphere card, or you're like, really doesn't interest you at all?
No, I love fighting at the Apex.
I think it's so funny to hear that, because Grant genuinely loves the Apex, and you're like the polar opposite.
No, I think it would have been awesome to fight at the sphere. I thought it was so cool. Like, you can obviously see like the huge pictures of themselves. I'm like, that's what I would be looking at. I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But like, I think it would be it'd just be such a dope atmosphere. I love things like I just love all the energy, and it was an absolutely just amazing performance by the UFC.
I agree. Yeah. Matt, like they would have done red, everything, you know, it would have been cool.
It reminded me of like if Disney World had put on a UFC event. Like that's what it equated to me.
No, it was amazing. That all the visuals on the screen, everything like that. Like I said, the fighters on the wall was the biggest thing for me, because I know that's what I would be looking at. I always in an arena, they usually have like a strip around the arena that has your eyes on it whenever you're walking out. And I'm like, that's always the coolest thing to me whenever I'm walking out.
That's awesome.
So to have like just a Titan version of yourself. Oh, it'd be sick.
Exactly. I'm like, it'd be sick.
I'd be so distracted.
And the thing that I kind of took from it was the people that were there. I just felt like it felt like a massive event. Like when all those fighters are there, like, dude, when there's a pay-per-view, some fighters come and show, or some, you know, Gordon Ramsay or whatever, musicians, whatever, some come, but this event seems like it was ton. It was like so many of them. It was cool. All right, G, we appreciate your time like always. 7.5 weeks out, UFC Vegas 100 at the Apex. Gillian the Savage Robertson will get another submission victory and continue this journey to the championship. We can't wait. We'll talk to her all throughout this camp. G, appreciate you. Talk soon.
I'll see you guys next week.
There we go. Gillian the Savage Robertson. What a stud. What a stud.
I love this. Do the next sphere card July 4th or something and celebrate American independence, something like that. I would support that.
Yeah.
But at one point, the ring girls have to dress up like red coats or something. Something crazy.
Red coats.
Isn't that what they're called? The British soldiers? Like the freaking, I don't know. We need some Revolutionary War ring girls.
With the muskets?
With the muskets. The round signs can be at the top of the muskets.
Crazy. Elle, how's getting back to training? How's life in Elle Dawson's world?
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. Training. I'm sore. Back to being sore. You're back to getting sweaty Elle on the show. So
we love Sweaty Elle. We love Sweaty Elle. How is your husband? He's close. That's a couple weeks out.
Yeah, we leave. We've got like 3 more weeks of work and then fight week.
Wow.
So coming up.
So maybe next week or the week after that, we can try to sneak one more time with Grant Dawson on the Great Fight Banana Show. That'd be cool. I know it's homerish, and that's fine. People can say that about me. After watching Merab and especially Valentina to not kind of fight in a flashy striking style, I'm like, dude, Grant and Gillian, I've always felt this deep down in my heart and soul and gut. Like, oh, they're going to be world champions one day. And it's more than ever. After watching Saturday's card, I'm like, dude, that was my thing. I was like, dude, Grant's going to be a world champion. It's going to happen.
Let's go. Well, and I obviously agree, not at all biased, but it's funny because I feel like maybe like less than a year ago, you and I were having this conversation where I felt like it was about to be an era of striking champions because Leon knocked out Usman, and then we had Sean O'Malley. Yeah. And I think that was very short-lived. You know, like we're seeing, it's just grappling is so dominant in this sport. And I think there's a handful of guys who can make it to the top with the right matchups or even with Leon. Leon didn't necessarily have like an easy path to the title by any means. He just, he fought really well and styles match up differently, and Bilal's style matches up.
No, I'm going to triple down what you just said there. Merab didn't have an easy run. Let's just be honest. When you're a grappler, the UFC, Dana White, matchmakers.
Well, I was talking about O'Malley having an easier run.
My fault.
I was talking about Leon and O'Malley more so.
I just think so I'm going the opposite then with it. I just think grapplers will have a hard run to the championship. But if you just keep winning fights, like they could not give Bilal the title shot. He just kept on winning. Like sooner or later, you beat enough top 5, top 10, top 15 guys, you fight for the championship. Like
100%, yeah.
Grant wins this one. He fights Patty, or he fights, Jalen Turner. He beats that one. He's going to fight, Benoit Saint Denis, Fiziev. He wins that one. He's going to fight Oliveira, Chandler, right in that spot. He beats that one. He fights for the championship. Like,
like you said, eventually you'll get there. Like these guys just kept winning. Merab kept winning, and I loved his. I don't know if you saw the interview he did, just talking about Aljo. But he, people asked him, if he regretted, because part of the reason it took him so long to get a title shot is he didn't want to fight Aljamain Sterling, who's one of his best friends.
Yeah.
But and I think they were a little bit upset with him for that, So they put him on the back burner for a while, and he was like, "Oh no, I do it all over again." He's like, "I don't want to fight my best friend," which I love and respect. So I thought that was a pretty cool interview that Merab did.
It was cool, and I just love that he said that. Like he won the championship in the UFC in his way. Like, and you don't get to do that. Sometimes you have to sell your soul. You have to do shit to people who don't like to do it. But talking about someone who has got a big fight coming up in a couple weeks, American Top Team. I think he's there right now. Just got done training, doing what he does best. Talking about the problem, Chris Duncan on his show.
What's up, man?
What's up, Chris? How are you?
What's up?
How was sparring today?
Good, thanks. Good. 4 rounds in the bag, and then I went and run 4 miles. So nice. Happy that's done.
Happy that's done. I love it.
Man.
I love it. My man, when the UFC Paris fight, all that it came to be, some people love traveling to, those sites. Sometimes they would love to fight at the Apex or less taxes, all that stuff. Did it matter to you, or you're just happy, of course? A pretty big card. I think the card's absolutely stacked, by the way, too. Are you just pumped to be on another big card, UFC Paris?
The good thing for this is it's quite close to home. So I'll travel back maybe 4 days before I have to go to fight week with UFC. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, 2 birds, 1 stone, as they call it back home, that I'll get to go home for a couple of days, get the kind of comfortabilities of my family, get to eat the food that I'm used to, have my car. That's another one. So I'll go home and enjoy time with the family, and then I don't need to spend fucking, sorry for swearing, but the full week there at fight camp. So I can go as late as Tuesday, and then the week goes in really fast, because there's nothing worse hanging about the hotel room waiting on interviews, all that sort of stuff. So, and also, let's be honest, you don't get a choice where you go. Sean Shelby tells you where to go and tells you when to turn up. So, yes, boss.
And I believe you're opening up the card this time, right? First fight on the card. You love that? You're happy to? That's my question. You're happy to be done early?
So happy. To be honest, like I like going in, seeing the arena empty, having a quick walk around the cage, getting the feel for the cage, and then getting the job done in spectacular fashion, and then getting up the road. And I don't even think I'm going to stay and watch the fights. I think I'm just going to go home. I have another teammate of mine, Robert Whiteford, who's fighting on PFL. So I'm probably going to go back and watch that fight. I'm just going to shut off from all the outside world and enjoy the moment.
Love it.
After your win, of course, after your win, my man, someone just put it in the comment section here, and us, of course, Elle more than ever with being at the gym and stuff. Became quickly a fan favorite, Chris. Like, people cannot wait for your fights. Your fighting style, of course, is a very fan friendly. Is that like cool to you when you hear that? Do you not care at all? Do you care just about winning, money, family? Like, is that a cool thing? Like, yeah, that is awesome that the fans, come for my fights, want to watch my fights.
No, definitely. That's great to hear that. Deep down inside, I always remember watching a couple of videos online of a guy. There was a young disabled child going into the ring with Tyson Fury at one point, and it was you could just see in the kid's eyes it was his dream to be in the cage. So it's good that I can inspire others, and deep down inside, I want to inspire other people to obviously chase dreams and other things like that. But mainly, like, my fighting style is changing every fight camp. That's why I'm called The Problem. So I'm in the gym with these killers every single day. So I'm looking to adapt and bring out different things when it comes to different fights and show my true skill set. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to fighting and the MMA, if you're good at one attribute, it's just not going to cut it anymore with these high level guys, So you constantly need to be upskilling, getting better, working on your grappling, working on your striking, work down your defense, also nutrition, strength and conditioning. This is a crazy sport. There's so many ways to win and lose. So you need to be upskilling every single camp.
I totally believe that. I got one more, Elle, then you definitely take it away. You mentioned kind of a kid watching Tyson Fury, living the dream. I guess just when you said that, I'm going to ask you maybe a bluntly question. Are you living your dream, Chris? Is this like, can you ever imagine, yeah, man, I'm UFC fighting on the biggest promotion in the world, providing for the fan? Like, are you absolutely living out your dream right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Since before I could even remember, when I started MMA in 2014, the end goal was always in the back of my mind to become, get into the UFC. And, every time I blew out candles, every time I seen a shooting star, every time I put something in a well, I would always say I want to be in the UFC. So, affirmations are true, or affirmations work. If you constantly tell yourself you want to be something, it will turn out like that. I'm never big on shouting it to people. I've never been that way. I've never been like, I'm going to be in the UFC. I'm going to be UFC champion. And like, it's just never was the case. I always keep true to myself and put in the work, because at the end of the day, like, a lot of these guys get their confidence from the work that they put into the gym and their skill set. So I'm constantly getting better and constantly evolving as a fighter. So yeah, it's great. I'm living my dream. Like, now when I blow out candles, it's a different dream. I've got another one, but it's amazing that I can say that I've accomplished that. But I'm far from done. I've got so much more to give. And since joining the American Top Team, I've got better every single day.
Beautiful. Elle?
You've just been talking about developing, adding tools. Obviously, coming off this tough loss to Manuel Torres, you thought you were going to be fighting again much sooner than this fight. Had some complications there, and now we're here, and like, this fight's coming up. What have you added to the toolbox this time? What are the developments this time?
So, in regards to the developments this time, like, there's things like silly things like I've written on my phone that, remembering how, like, I had quite a big weight cut when it came to Manuel Torres. So things that I decided to do out of camp were make sure my weight was a little bit lower coming into fight time, you know, instead of starting 8 weeks out, you know, maybe start 12 weeks out. So that was a big thing for me. Also trying to enjoy the process a little bit more, because sometimes I'm so stuck in the mud when it comes to I want to win, and I don't think about anything else other than that. It kind of ruins my progression. So that, and also I'm working a lot on my defense, and I'm constantly working on my grappling, because I've got some good grappling skills, but I'm not niche. I've got good power. I'm a decent striker, but my grappling always has room for improvement. So that's something that I always will, and will always enjoy. I always enjoy it. To be honest, I actually prefer grappling than I do striking when it comes to the actual enjoyment part of it. But I seem to get on better with striking. So, and I seem to get less tired. So I'm probably a little bit more efficient when it comes to that. But those are just a few things that this camp that I've been working on.
And obviously a very different opponent in Balaji Oki than last time out. Is there anything in particular that you see that he does wrong, or areas where you can expose him?
Yeah, he definitely drops his hands a little bit on the disengage and stuff like that. His grappling doesn't seem up to much. Quite flat-footed as well. So I'm going to capitalise on these three things. So if he's watching, you better watch out.
I love that. You mentioned America Top Team a couple times, of course, and Elle and everything training there, and with Grant, Dawson, and stuff. Is there something that the main person or the casual MMA fan, someone's just watching the UFC every now and then, something or someone, a fighter or a fighting style, you're like inside that gym, like, because people like, let me just throw out Grant for instance. Grant, when he fights on the UFC, they know his dominant wrestling is how heavy he is on people. But maybe in the gym, his striking is like, dude, I didn't realize how goddamn good Grant Dawson's striking is. Is there something like that, or some fighter in the gym you're like, guys, we all know Moicano is great, but people tell me all the time, Moicano is world level. Like, he is champion type of level. Is there someone in the gym or something that's underrated that maybe the casual doesn't know?
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to the bright lights of the UFC, it's very difficult to put everything together. So when it, like, you can always have your A game in the gym. Sometimes you just turn up because it's like a normal day in the job or whatever. You know, everybody's got these skill sets that they're working on, and sometimes it just takes the athlete for the confidence to be able to try that in the octagon. A big thing for me is when it comes to fighting. Like footballers, rugby players, hockey players, they get a chance to play every single weekend, whereas we only get to play and do the thing that we love every 3-4 months, maybe sometimes a year, depending on how we've been matched up or when we've been matched up. So it's a difficult thing to say, because, you know, everybody's evolving and always trying to upskill when it comes to that. But off the top of my head, I can't really think about anything, you know, like in this gym, people are on their A game, so you tend to see it all, but everybody's upskilling. And like, I try and explain to everybody that doesn't come to American Top Team that it's like a big pot, and we're always planning and building something in that pot and stirring it and making sure it's getting better. And people don't realize that, you know, like, MMA is evolving so greatly over the last couple of months and years. Like, it's so niche now. Like, it's not like the striker versus the grappler anymore. It's just so vast. There's so many ways to win and lose.
Crazy. Elle?
I was talking to Chris a little bit earlier this week, and you have a new baby boy at home. So
congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Obviously, you told me you had to leave to come here for camp when he was only 6 weeks old, right?
Correct.
So how has that process been, just being away, and speak on that a little bit? Because I know it's a big thing to travel all the way across the ocean to come here for camp and miss out on a lot of that.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. I feel a little bit detached from him himself. Obviously, I still love him and stuff like that, but you miss out on the bond that you get, that newborn bond that I got with my daughter. 1 minute you want to strangle them, next minute you want to cuddle them. So it's like, that's the bond that you make. And unfortunately, these are the sacrifices that I need to make, because this career is super short. I don't want to be doing this forever. You know, I'm getting punched in the head, big bruises on my eyes and stuff like that. That was actually a knee in wrestling, believe it or not even sparring. It was a knee in the face in wrestling. But, you know, it's not good for your body. This, so I'm going to try and cash in pretty early. Try and make a statement, get right up there, get into the top 10 is the next goal. And we'll take it from there. But I miss my family greatly, but it's a massive motivation for me to be able to supply and help my family with their life. So it's another notch in my belt that I want to do. I want to try and retire my girlfriend so she doesn't have to work anymore. She can look after the kids, and potentially I bring her over here eventually, like weeks, and then I don't need to go home and miss them as much.
I always ask this question especially when I hear the daughter thing. I have 2 daughters of my own, Chris. If your daughter walks up to you when 15, 18,
yes.
12, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
It's happening. She's very strong-willed as it is. She likes to fight. Unfortunately, we've had a little bit of problem with nursery, but it is what it is. I try my best not to take that out of her, because sometimes, when I was younger, I was kind of judged on, I'm not a great talker. I'm not good at arguing. I tend to deal with things physically and violently, unfortunately, and that was just my demeanour. It took me a long time to be able to control it and understand it, but sometimes that's just the working of the world. Some people have attributes like being able to talk and defuse situations, but my daughter has that fire, and you can't take that out of them. There are many businesses these days that are looking for enthusiasm and energy, and in the school try and rip that from you. Sit down, stop fidgeting, stop doing that, stop speaking up, stop being so energetic. They try and pull that from our children. So I'm going to encourage that, because the more energetic and the more she can give to a job when she goes forward is going to be better for her, because she has energy and enthusiasm. So I'm going to push that massively.
I love that. I really do love that. I respect the hell out of that. That's awesome. Guys, Chris, Duncan, UFC Paris, couple weeks away. The UFC is off this week. They just had a major show at UFC Noche, off this week. Week after that, Benoit St. Denis and Moyo Kano will headline UFC Paris. Our guy Chris Duncan's on the show. Elle, anything else? If not, well, I'll let Chris run, man. Appreciate his time immensely. Anything else, Elle?
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Super looking forward to it. You're heading out back home here in 2 days?
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully I'll get to see you before then, but if not, safe travels and best of luck, man.
I'm sure I'll see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, brother.
Bye,
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Chris Duncan. Stud. Absolute stud. Woof. There we go. Dude, I love the daughter thing, and I don't know why I like that so much. People, and it is true, not to get so corny on people, right? I literally was living my dream this past weekend. I was in Las Vegas for the biggest week in combat sports, maybe of the whole year, out there for 4 days, interviewing, talking with Canelo, Alveraz, going to the Sphere for the weigh-ins for UFC Noche, seeing all this stuff, getting media access tickets. I was absolutely living my dream. And if anyone is not doing that, I feel bad. Not pity, but it's anyone that's not living out their dream should stop doing what they're doing and go for it. Just go for it. If you just keep doing what you want to do, just keep doing, just not stop. You'll get there. I know it sounds corny, but you'll get there.
Dude, yeah. No, you know how I feel about that. There are no such thing as backup plans, in my opinion. Yeah. I think backup plans are the same thing as excuses. So I'm for it. I love it.
It's crazy. We only have so much time on this earth, and I just couldn't imagine, working at Home Depot. No fun. There's someone watching working at Home Depot right now. I'm sorry.
And maybe they love it. Maybe that's their dream.
True. That's true. But just
maybe orange is their color, Dave. Okay.
Yeah, man, crazy. Yes, Christian. That guy does have crazy power.
Crazy power. Chris is such an exciting fighter. It's so funny to hear him talk about and he does have very underrated grappling, by the way.
He does. And he says he likes it better.
And it's so funny to hear him say that, because he's so known for just these absolute bangers of fights.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, guys. 15 minutes left on this great show. We might slide in Dean Toole. Is Dean Toole jumping in at the
side? I don't think he's coming. I texted him.
Unbelievable. Dude. Guys.
Dean, if you're watching this, No, we still love you, but you should come on.
November 15th, Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA in Biloxi, Mississippi. It's going to be bananas. I'm telling you, the fights that have already been announced and the fights that they are going to announce, it's insane. I love when the cards are so deep. That's one thing I love about Game Bred Bare Knuckle. It's not just Costa and Brandon Michael Davis is fighting for the championship. That's on top. The other 3 fights that they announced was Jason Knight versus Joshua Weems. If you ever seen both of them, bare knuckle, that's insane. Greg Hardy versus Chase Sherman and a heavyweight banger. That's insane. And then, Charles Rosa versus Pete Barnett. Like, dude, absolute firecracker fights. 4 fights, all 4 studs.
Absolute bangers, dude. And Jason Knight is like such a fan favorite, and he should be. Like, he was so fun to watch when he was in the UFC. He came onto the Tough show for that veteran versus prospect series that they did, and just still looked great there.
That one fight that awesome. Even that he lost, it was insane.
Yeah, no, he's a stud, and he's built for bare knuckle MMA is built for guys like Jason Knight, who are just always exciting, always trying to finish fights. Like, I'm very, very excited to see him in there as well.
Totally agree. Appreciate Randy Costa coming on, Gillian the Savage Robertson, Chris Duncan. All right, if you could, like, dude, what they announced UFC 309, Elle, let's rewind back to that. John Jones, Stipe Miocic as the main event, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler's the I saw the other fights. They had some good fights on it. I feel like they didn't have a
Nickel and Paul Craig. No, that doesn't do it for you.
It doesn't do it for me. Am I off on that, guys?
I'm excited to watch Natalia Silva fight Viviane Araújo.
That's a really good fight. That's a really good fight. It won't get the love or the pub that it needs. Bo Nickel will definitely get more of that. Weidman versus Eric Anders. Like, I love that fight. That fight to me is awesome.
It's interesting. Like, I feel like we haven't seen Anders in a while. He's not super active. And then Weidman just won't go away. He's just that guy. He's just still here, and more power to him. But do we get another eye poke performance, or you think this one's nice and clean? I'm stoked to see Dominic Reyes back. I'm so happy. He was just I was such a huge fan of Dominic Reyes during his big run. I am of the party that thinks that Dominic Reyes absolutely beat John Jones. I was so high on him, and it was so sad to kind of see him take the just loss after loss for a while there. And I feel like he's back. He seems like he's having a resurgence here. So
I think he slaughters Anthony Smith. I think he runs right through him.
I think he will. And I feel like Anthony Smith has become that guy. Yeah. Like, we've seen him fall to the guys who are eventually making title runs, and we see him stop the young prospects that just don't quite have it. Yeah. So that's the test in that division is Anthony Smith. He's become that gatekeeper.
I don't know why I'm not pumped about Bo Nickel and Paul Craig. I'm just not.
It's a big step up for Bo, which is what everybody keeps wanting for him, right? So
major step.
And Paul Craig, I think their styles match up interestingly, because obviously Paul Craig has fantastic jiu-jitsu. Like, he's the champ killer. He's triangling. He's the one guy that's triangling guys off their back, triangling.
That's Jamal what I mean. Hill, like, it's kind of weird that Bo Nickel and honestly his team took it, because Bo usually wants to wrestle and take him down. That's where Paul Craig wants. Like, Paul Craig is like, take me down, please.
Maybe this is an opportunity for Bo to focus on other tools, Oh, there's Dean in the comments. Dean, click the link.
I'm sending the link right now.
I was going to say, I thought I did. You sent it to him too. Dude, yeah, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want Bo to be tested where there is danger if he shoots. Like, there's danger of the guillotine, there's danger on the ground. So, hey, let's be honest, I totally texted it to you, Dean. I swear.
Tell him I'm sending it to him right now.
Okay, all right.
I should have did it.
Dave's sending you the link.
All right.
I feel like maybe that's what they want. They want a fight that makes Bo work on his striking.
Well, he definitely is. And we know this too. everyone knows the wrestling is never going to leave Bo Nickel. He will always have that in his back pocket. And as someone
he can
that
do it from dangerous spots too. Like he's got the level of wrestling where he can be half knocked out and still wrestle well.
Yeah.
Like I 100% agree.
If that man gets, and he has hands, he's sparked people before, but if he keeps on adding to that and really perfecting the jab and kind of the mixing it up together, wrestling into an overhand right, stuff like that, if he kind of connects that stuff, be big.
Yeah.
But there we go. It looks like we're going to end the show with a little Dean Toole love. He might have some stuff for us. Game Bred Bare Knuckle, November 15th. Like I said, even before that, Island Fights is back. Island Fights 86, I believe, is October 25th. So nice little run.
Busy fall.
I've learned this, and Susie always gets on me. It's never not busy. It's just like they're in Salt Lake City in 2.5 weeks. Like if we wanted to go out there, we could. It's crazy times.
Kayla's on that card.
Yeah. Grant's fighting the week before, the week after that.
What? Grant's October 12th. Salt Lake City is the week before.
Oh no, Salt Lake City. You're right. It's October 5th, I believe.
5th. Yeah.
Yeah, October 5th. Yeah. 5th.
Is that the same one Movestar's on?
Yeah. Versus
Movestar and Aljo.
Yeah.
Kayla and Ketlin Vieira.
Jose Aldo versus Batista.
I'm so excited for that fight.
I'm
so pumped to see Aldo's just like, I'm not going away either.
The best co-main event of all time, Rocky Pennington versus Juliana Pena.
That's the worst. Nah, Kayla's the bantamweight star of that card. We all know it.
Do you know right now that Mosarv and Aljo's on the prelims?
Is it really?
Isn't that insane?
Are you sure that's not just like they don't have the full card up? I'm gonna go. Hang on. Let me.
It's on the prelims right now. They could change it. It's on the prelims.
That's shameful. That's shameful. That is such a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Talk to the people for 1 second now.
Hello, people. We're looking. No, it's not. What are you talking about? It's not on the prelims. I don't know what Dave's talking about. It's right there. Aljo and Movestar is feature fight on that card right after Kayla versus Ketlin Vieira. You got Roman Dolidze and Kevin Holland. Ooh, Wonder Boy and Joaquin Buckley. This card is kind of stacked, guys. Like, do y'all have a fight you're particularly looking forward to? We have Carla Esparza's retirement fight. She's fighting Tisha Pennington. Jose Aldo's fighting Batista, like we were talking about earlier. I think that's my sleeper fight on this card. Like, that's the fight that's going to just wow everybody. Yasmin Lucindo, super exciting fighter at strawweight, fighting Marina Rodriguez, who is also very exciting. Ooh. There's a lot. Is Dave coming back? Dave, you're totally wrong. Aljo and Movestar is the feature fight.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's great. It should be.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. But the rest of the card is absolutely loaded. Like,
it's stacked.
It really is. I think Wonder Boy and Joaquin Buckley is going to be really interesting.
Jeez, that's on the card too?
Yeah. And then you have Dolidze fighting Kevin Holland.
Holland.
Carla Esparza's retirement fight.
Wow, insane. Well, it's talking about someone who will never retire. This man's the hardest working man in all of mixed martial arts. The one and the only. Dean Toole.
What's up?
What's up? He made it.
What's up, dude?
Look, I can't announce too many things, but I'll give you 2 things.
Okay.
Dutch kickboxer Prince McLean is going to be fighting Italian superstar Alessio Sakara on November 15th. And we will also have Kevin Lee making his Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA debut. Can't announce his opponent yet.
What?
Whoa. Okay, that's a video. Chop that up.
That's insane. That's awesome. Because Kevin Holland has been talking about wanting to go back to the UFC, what he's going to do next. Huge news.
Game Bred Bare Knuckles. What's next? That's what's up.
That's what's awesome. Next. And Guto Innocente, if I pronounce that correctly, former Glory kickboxer, absolute murderer, will also be making his Game Bred Bare Knuckle debut on that card. So,
Love that.
Jeez. Are tickets on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com?
They are not. I think they go on sale Friday, but tables are. We don't even have front row tables. I don't even know if we have second row tables already. So we haven't even went on sale. But just from pre-orders, it's going to be the floor will be gone within the week probably.
Insane. We just had Randy Costa on in the first hour, Dean, and he was so adamant about how great the card is going to be, how exciting the card is, how exciting the first card that he was on, and he was really excited. Like, he really wants to be the face. He really wants that attention. He really wants this championship belt. He thinks that would take him to the next level. He really wants to run, and it seems like he's really pumped about the Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA stage and all of that. So it was exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot wait for that fight. They fought in the UFC. Brandon won the first one.
Yeah.
Bare knuckle is a completely different thing in both boxing and MMA. So like somebody that you think is going to win a fight, you have no idea until you watch them. And I've been proved wrong several times. So I think that's what's intriguing about it. But this card will be the best fight card I've ever put on in my entire life.
I mean, it's loaded. It's
and I've put on
absolutely
some
stacked.
pretty cool things, but like this is like absolute barn burners every single fight on the card. Like multiple performance of the night winners in the UFC. 16 total UFC bets on one card. Nobody's doing it.
I love that Alessio's on the card. That's awesome. He's a super cool dude.
Yeah, awesome. We're trying to it's actually going to be helping us do an event in Italy. So
Wow.
we're doing a lot of stuff next year, but next year will be jam packed like almost every month, and we should be announcing.
All bare knuckle or?
Well, that's just for Game Bred Bare Knuckle.
Wow.
We're right about to launch Icon again, and obviously we'll have Game Bred boxing events and island fights. So, but this card, craziest card we've ever done ever, as far as like quality of opponents and like the actual styles of the matchups. Probably be some of the best fights we've ever put together for sure.
Jeez. Ryan, one something you just mentioned island fights. Is the next island fights card on October 25th in Pensacola?
October 25th. Devin Cushing is headlining that. John Gunther and Cam Bennett will both be making their professional debut, which is super cool.
That's awesome.
Should have their opponent announced in the next day or two. I had to do a bunch of stuff with the Game Bred card. So I'll be right back on that and announcing all those probably this week. But everybody, Corey Stokes is on that card. Roy Jones Jr. has his kid, little phenom kid, Chris Young. Be a lot of talent on that card. I think Clay Witt's back, Blake Anthony. All of those fights will be announced this week. So
stacked. What about Icon? Is there a date for the first Icon show?
I'm working on the date right now. So we wanted to launch Icon in November, and then the boxing event just pushed us so far back and like completely screwed our schedule up so bad that we got stacked with island fights, and then a week or 2 weeks after is the Game Bred card. So to fill that in November would be tough. And December and the first couple weeks of January are the worst to do events. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll launch Icon in January if we don't do something in December. But we're working that out internally right now. So
will that be South Florida?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be in Miami. It'll be in a couple different states actually, and then that'll grow. But it'll definitely be a traveling show. But it'll be at least 4 times a year in Miami.
Wow. Insane. Kevin Lee debuting Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA November 15th, Biloxi, Mississippi.
Have you seen him cooking? Have you seen all his like barbecue and stuff that he's doing?
No, I didn't know he was. I know his brother's like got 18 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah, he just reviews food, and he like went and reviewed Kevin. I guess Kevin has like I don't remember I'm gonna look up what it's called. It's like a little. I think it's barbecue.
Dean, can you come, maybe someone who hasn't been up in speed on your socials or the Game Bred socials, the 4 fights that have already been announced. We talked to Randy Costa today. We really pushed Costa versus Brandon Michael Davis, but 3 other insane fights have already been announced. Can you run through those, please, sir?
Well, Greg Hardy is not fighting Chase Sherman.
Okay.
in 15 years, I've never ever made a fight poster that someone hadn't agreed to a fight when I was told by their manager that they did. So I'm not going to go too far into that, but I'm pretty pissed off about that. So Chase Sherman will be fighting somebody else, and I should have that answer like in an hour. But obviously it's Brandon Davis, Randy Costa, a rematch. I feel like they got a performance of the night bonus that night. I don't remember. Charles Rosa is probably won 4 or 5 fight of the night bonuses. So is Brandon Davis. Peter Barrett is just a gangster. It's going to be one of the funnest fights ever, him and Rosa. They're both on either 5 or 6 fight win streaks. Technically, this could potentially be a title fight. But the only reason we probably won't is because we just want to see how people perform in there. You know, you never know how they're going to perform in a bare knuckle fight.
Sure.
So we just want to know what we're dealing with and how we would want that division represented, you know? So, definitely.
Wait, real quick, Dean, on that. So if one of those perform really well, just say Rosa looks like an absolute monster, like he's done in Boston so many times. His next fight, assuming, would be for the championship.
100%. If we didn't make it already for a title, because it could be. They're both on either, I think, between 4 and 6 fight winning streaks, you know? Wow. Oh, shit. And I have Curtis Millender's fighting Jesse Ronson. That should be incredible. I forgot. I haven't told anybody yet. I just popped in my brain. Sorry. But that fight, that's like in Jesse Ronson's also on a 6 fight win streak. He's number 1 ranked in North America and Canada. And Millender obviously had a super close fight against King Bao. But I think they fought at 85. So this is like Curtis going back down to 70. So this is also a number 1 contender fight. So I feel like the winner of that fight would probably fight Henderson Fiera for the welterweight title coming up in February. So, and then Josh Williams, Jason Knight. That's gonna be super fun. So every single fight on the card, I'm gonna have a live. We can do it on Fight Bananas to pick randomly the fight order because I don't want to disrespect anybody, so I feel like I'm just going to do it randomly.
That is insane.
I mean, they're all killer fights. I don't think you could.
I love that idea. We got our graphic designer already making the artwork for that.
There's no way I could pick the order unless it was like due to fans in attendance for certain people. I have no clue. I'm like, I just don't even know. And then, so every time I send the fight card to any like media outlet, I'm like, don't ask me for the fight order because I don't know what it is.
Jeez, I love that.
But they also we have Mike Sanford, the owner of American Top Team d'Iberville. He's fighting. I think it's either Jeff. I think it's Jeff Denton. They actually want to fight each other. So it's crazy because Michael Sanford would headline any event, even close to Biloxi, and he'd probably be the first fight on a 12-fight card, which is mind-blowing. That should just tell you the fight card right there. So,
wow.
So it's going to be 12 fights on this card.
Yeah.
Wow.
12 fights. 12 pro bare knuckle MMA fights, all insane.
Insane.
If you don't know one of the people fighting, then I'm not doing my job.
Well, we will promote it the best we can here at Fight Bananas, always pushing forward the game bred bare knuckle MMA gospel. Dean, we went over the 2 hours. Anything left? Anything else you want to say? Insane announcements here. We'll make a couple videos. Absolutely. Get that out on our socials. We appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Vegas was really fun, my man.
How was it? Tell us about your trip.
Fight Bananas. I talked a little bit about it, but the place I stayed in Vegas. Dean, I don't know if you know where it's at. We stayed in this suite in Resort World. It was one of the most amazing places you will.
Dean's like, man, I wonder who paid for that.
I paid for that many times gambling.
My man, dude, it was insane. Resort Resort.
It's my favorite resort in the entire world. Like nobody treats you better. I've never been treated like that, and I've gambled for a long time. I've always been like a member, like an MGM. I've always gambled at like MGM properties and never like these people do everything. They did our opening press tour for Masvidal Diaz at Zouk nightclub. Like everything they did, everything that they do for us, they did. We shot a bunch of content for the docu-series, like in all these private gambling rooms. Like they go above and beyond. I have a host there named Abby, and she is incredible. You'll get picked up at the airport. Like,
no, let me tell the story. So we were leaving from the airport. It was a Sunday morning, very early. Everyone was there Saturday night. Everyone in town in Las Vegas was at Resort World Saturday night. Ran into Alex Pereira, ran into John Jones, ran into everyone. It was absolutely bananas downstairs, the lobby, the pizza joint. You know what I'm talking about, Dean. Anyway, so we're leaving 6 a.m. Maybe I'm a little tired. I'm just going to get, like, I just want an Uber. I just want to get to the airport. I walk out. They're like, sir, do you have somewhere anyone picking you up yet? I'm like, no, I'm about to put it in now. They're like, no, we got you. I was like, what do you mean got you? They come around with a Resort World Bentley. They get us in the Bentley. They put us in the back. We got reclining chairs in the back. They take us to the airport, say, good day, sir. It was unbelievable. That's how they treat you there at Resort World.
And in a private entrance, like a whole
private entrance.
When you show up, a whole gate opens, like an electronic gate. So it's the craziest experience that people haven't experienced that. But like they pick you up, they have the little sign waiting on you. Dave couldn't find it, so they were standing next to each other for 12 minutes. And typically, then they take you, and when you get to the resort, like this gate opens up, and you go through a completely private check-in. So if you go to any resort in Vegas during like any type of UFC fight week, or especially a Canelo event, any type of UFC event, period, to have both of them simultaneously on the same night, the lobbies, you will sit there for 2 hours, 3 hours to check in. This is completely private. It's no one in there. They got an awesome, beautiful bar sitting there when you walk in, and it's pretty lavish. It's a pretty cool experience. But yeah, that's the best place on earth.
There you go.
I was there for 6 months for the Masvidal Diaz thing, so I know everybody in the whole building now. But it was it's just I've just never been treated better, and I feel like that means
down the hallway they have called the Dean Toole room right there in Resort World. Dean Toole.
Yeah, they do.
I showed you the picture. I sent it to you. All right, guys. An incredible week. Canelo Alveraz and UFC Noche. But guys, November 15th, Biloxi, Mississippi. It's going to be absolutely bananas. 4 fights already announced. 2 just now, more from Dean Toole. Bangers all across the card.
Got one I haven't showed you.
One more?
Hold on a second. Let me see. I just got the artwork, but I haven't announced it yet. Yeah.
Nice.
Sick. Wow. Look at
That's
that.
awesome. I love Alessio. He's such a
good alert. Yeah, he's awesome, man. So is Prince. Prince's whole team's incredible. He fought Alex Nicholson. He was having an incredible fight right up until it wasn't incredible. But, he was excited. Stylistically, this guy, it's going to be a great fight for sure. So
absolutely. Guys, get your tickets Friday.
And Alex Nicholson is also on the card. Sorry, I forgot to say that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so many announcements.
I can't say anything yet, but
I love Dean. Dean's like, I can't give you too many. Gives us like 6 fights right out of the gate.
Oh, let me see what else I got.
Dude, I love that idea. That would be the first time ever in MMA history that a random live out of a hat will be the fight announcement.
Yeah, fight order.
Yeah, the fight order. That'd be the first time in history.
I want to do it live, and I'm literally gonna maybe we let the fans decide and everybody pick and do something.
Let's do it. Let's do a Fight Bananas live.
You know how you have the random wheel?
Yeah, I'll make a spreadsheet. We'll do it.
Ian Valencia is back. He's been gone for 8 days. So
shout out to Ian. We missed him in Vegas. Let's just say that. I missed him immensely. He was
you guys probably wouldn't have seen each other. Two different wavelengths.
He goes into all right, guys. We're out of here. Fight Bananas.
You would have been working
so much.
And he wouldn't have been.
Brother. Appreciate it. There's Dean Toole, guys. The great Dean Toole.
See you guys later. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Thanks, Dean.
Wow. Unbelievable. Gave all the gossip right there, guys. We went, huh?
Kevin Lee, let's go.
Kevin Lee on the card. Sakara on the card.
Yeah.
Chase Sherman. Alex Nicholson.
Nicholson. I'm
Didn't-
excited.
who else?
It's going to be fun. Now I'm kind of butthurt I'm not going.
Curtis Melender versus Ronson. That's a great fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be going.
I'm
We'll
not.
fly you-
I'm
we'll
not.
fly
I'm
you
not
out.
going places a month before my fight, Dave. Stop
We'll
it.
fly you out the day before. It's just one day.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like 3 days total with recovery to get back on my diet. It's not happening. Don't tempt me. All right.
All right, guys.
We're way over.
Yep. We're out. Have
Thank
a good
you,
show.
everybody.
Say something inspirational for the people.
Say something inspirational. Thank you guys for joining us today. We had Randy Costa. We had the man himself, Dean Toole, announcing all sorts of stuff for Game Bred Bare Knuckle coming up in just a couple months here. We had our girl G, and we had the problem Chris Duncan on today. Awesome show. Please, please, please join us the rest of the week. Is there betting bananas this week, Dave?
There is no Bet and Bananas. There's Boxing Bananas tomorrow. But right now, James Lynch will be live with Joshua Van, who just won at UFC Noche. Will be live on the YouTube channel right now. So we got to go. We'll see everyone later. James Lynch will be live right now.